Zack Snyder edition. Is Henry Cavill going to be in here?
Can they still hear us during the trailer?
They can. Yeah, I can't fix any of the volume. I can't turn any of that off.
Oh.
So now Ronald has carte blanche.
Introducing a new
Dungeons.
Yeah. No, it's perfect because I can just kick him.
Dragons!
From the creators of Vampires Suck, talked by Bubbernaut, hosted by your friends,
Yeah.
featuring The Hallway of Death,
featuring
Oh my god.
long hauls.
Bewilderment,
Why are there people dancing at
Ellohime as Rye. Himbo Supreme. Giga Chad with hands.
Oh my god, I have so much hair. What is going on?
Oh my god, you have so much hair. He has all the hair. Everyone's hair.
Just aged a
Don't
day.
anyone say anything bad about Maggie.
MargaretKrohn.
killed her own
Okay, that's fair.
The wild wizard
But other than that,
with no longer. This is a
Man himself, the dwarf with the warp. What rhymes with dwarf? I don't know.
Dwarf with the
I think Warp. I think you got it.
He loves
His name is Wyld and he's going as
He can't keep
This is true.
That's all I get? That's all I'm getting.
Whose grandma is the spirit.
That's all I get.
Special guest. Bubbernaut as the game master. Little asterisk in the front.
Oh fuck, man. All right. Well,
The haunting of Harrowstone.
that's right. And everything is wrong.
This is the
Leave
High
stream.
School Musical.
I leave stream for a week and a half because of COVID, and everything breaks. So
Oh, cool. There's you're
there's
like
Damn.
I'm sliced in half.
Yes.
we're about to
Oh,
assemble like a
nice.
Gundam or something.
It's kind of like a Gundam. All right, let's
The
make sure.
Suddenly it's a
Multiverse of
gun plus stream.
Harrowstone.
Let's go.
There's so many pieces of you everywhere.
I know, right? I'm working on it. This
That
We
explains
go
my
live.
mental state.
We go live and we're split everywhere. We just all start screaming.
What Harrowstone is
Save
like when the
us.
characters are in pieces.
Suddenly it's like we float away like we're in the what is it, that triangle in Superman? Like
Oh
A
shit.
phantom zone.
Oh yeah.
this is the Phantom Zone. Thank you.
Well, clearly.
The only Superman, in my opinion. I'm so tired of remakes. Like, can you
First
not
off.
tell the same story over
Kneel
and over
before
again?
Zod.
Thank
Are
you.
we not a
Best
fan
one.
of the Cavill as
No.
Superman?
No.
I love him.
Yeah, he's great.
Not
He's a
me.
national treasure. You know, he's America's national treasure next to
treasure.
the Constitution. Okay,
Wait,
Next
who?
to the
He's
concept.
Henry
all
Cavill.
yours.
thank you.
Is that who Nick Cage is stealing next?
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
Gonna inhabit his soul. I will actually hold on. I'm gonna walk that back a little bit. I did like Brandon Routh.
Farm,
That,
don't
I
care if
liked
he's
that
British.
one. Parker Posey was great in it. She was the highlight of that movie. Because now Kevin Spacey doesn't exist.
That is true. Oh, that's right.
Ooh.
After
He
that's
was
right.
I mean, from an acting perspective, he killed Lex Luthor, but we didn't know he was a real life Lex Luthor.
A piece.
Yeah. And Farm, we're American. We'll take what we want and claim it as our own. So Henry Cavill is ours now.
You can keep James Corbin, okay? You take
Can
him
we
back.
trade for James
Yeah.
Corbin?
Yeah.
Isn't he
We don't want
quitting?
your Simon Cowell. We don't want your Pierce Morgan. You can
Oh
have them
my
all
God,
back, okay?
please.
But just give us Henry. Give him to us.
Is James
He's
Gordon quitting?
ours.
Oh yeah, he retired. Yeah.
I mean,
What was it?
he's-
Was it just because like he's been doing it so long, or like was there
No,
another
I
reason?
think he just wants to do something different, which is kind of completely shitty because I loved Craig Ferguson on that show and they boned him so hard.
Right.
Ooh, go on.
Not in the sexy way, unfortunately. I would have watched that, but
Sad.
That's
Yeah.
good ratings.
it would have
yeah,
been on
I mean-
Netflix, so it wouldn't have been great.
Ratings.
there's some wild stuff on Netflix. You joke.
Oh baby.
They're
I'm
getting
not gonna lie,
desperate
I
for
haven't-
titles.
I haven't found anything good in a while.
There was a movie last year or 2 years ago that somebody made a TikTok and they were like, I'm going to film me watching the first 5 seconds of this movie, and they like lost their shit. It was literal porn, but it was artsy.
Oh, so The Room?
I don't think I've seen that. But it was a porn. Like no, it wasn't Cinemax. It wasn't like, they're implying anything. No, nothing was implied.
That's crazy. What was it called?
Yes,
wow.
we have to
like,
make
what's
sure
the name of that?
others
Who
don't know
would do
Porn
that?
on
Who would make
Netflix.
such a thing?
What was the title?
Let's just talk
Yeah,
about
what was it?
what it might be.
Like the video that he was watching. What was that called?
Yeah, I want
Yeah,
to try
what
to
was
get
it?
the
Selena, yeah.
I'm trying to
Yeah, so we
just
can
for-
be careful not to
right, exactly.
It's for research purposes.
Yeah,
Right.
of course it is.
Yeah.
Oh no, I agree. Like, you need to understand. I mean, many of us have children. We have to make sure that these movies are not seen
Part of
They
it
gotta
by
be vetted.
anyone.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
missed you
I've
guys.
got to review it just to make sure that it's safe for Corey
Yeah,
to see.
that's fair.
Sam. You know, I'm gonna go review it right now. I'm gonna go to the restroom just so I have some peace and quiet real quick. So I'll be back in a minute, okay?
Yeah, is that what's happening?
Oh, that's
What?
gross. No, it's called Love from Gaspar Noé.
Gaspar Noé.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I was like, I think it's Noé. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Mm.
And
Man, that
there's
feels good.
multiple scenes, like to the point where I was like, "Is this? Oh, yep, Like what?" I'm not saying I didn't go back and watch them, but I had to see like,
Okay.
oh no, I'm full disclosure. I was like, "What? You can do that?"
I'm telling you, I have to. Well, I'm gonna have to watch it to make sure that it's.
Is
I
that
don't
a
think it's on
virtual camera?
Right, exactly. Like, who is in this room with them? How did they script this? Because that's a whoa.
Okay. It
It's
took
like
a
10
minute,
minutes.
but we got it handled. And we have we've got some time. We got some time to handle tonight's stuff. It's our first night back in a couple of weeks. Man, I hope you guys are feeling okay. Hope everybody's fine. Nobody got sick. I think it was just me, I believe, and
Yeah,
my
how
partner.
are you feeling?
I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good. I'm a lot better. I didn't think that I could sweat any more than I had sweat, but turns out that the human body just kind of keeps doing that thing. I ran a fever for like 4 days straight, and it sucked so bad. But then again, you know, I made it out. I'm alive. A lot of people don't do that apparently. So I'm counting my blessings, and it just turns out that no matter how much emphasis you put on trying to stay away from COVID, it can just be brought into your house, and it happens. It happens, you know. No amount of masking, no amount of distancing or washing hands and all that jazz. It's once it's in your house,
This moment will take some time.
it does
Have you-
its rounds.
Have you tried not believing in it? Because that helps me a lot.
No, you'll have to give me tips on that. I generally
just-
try to follow the science if I can.
You feign so much ignorance that it doesn't even affect you. It's how I go through most of my life.
That's
And look at me, look at me now, guys. I'm a
We're
wreck.
thriving.
Not just surviving.
Damn it! But it is really good to be back. It's good to see all of your faces again. We're still closing that gap on how close we are to actually finishing our game. And,
Lies.
well, I mean, it's gonna happen, and the story. There's a lot. There's a lot that honestly, like glancing back, it may not seem like you've covered much in like 2.5 in game in like weeks, right? But you guys have gone the gamut of events in this entire time. Like think about where you were and how far you've come, the things that you've learned, the information you've deliberately passed upon. Many of you have near death several times.
Where I was, I once had
A chicken.
my lovely pecker, and now I don't. So I really
Chocolates.
don't want to look at where I was and
True.
where.
Okay. So like thinking about
come
that though,
from.
right? Like you had a chicken and a dead guy, and now you actually have friends.
And a dead chicken.
Correction, you have a feather of your dead friend, okay? And that's a memento. It's a memory. We hold on to that.
And the
That's
aspirations of bringing your chicken back.
Accurate.
If I only have 800 gold.
Hey, by the time we're all done with this, we're gonna have so much gold we can kill another kid and give him a decent life, all right?
How long? Oh my god. How long does it? For example, say that we did muster up that 800, 900, whatever gold, right?
24-hour ritual.
Oh, it's 20. So we have 24 hours to do it?
No.
No. Like the ritual itself, like once Oz gets the gold, he just does a ritual, and for 24 hours, he can resummon Pecker again.
I saved it. Where was it?
Yeah.
It's just, I couldn't remember. I was like, wait, no, doesn't have to have like a time limit. So that's what I was
Is this
It's
a
almost
professional
all the gold
service? Is this
for delivering the book.
No, it's just wizard feet questing
If,
for their
if
familiar.
a familiar is dismissed, lost, or dies, it can be replaced 1 week later through a specialized ritual that costs 200 gold per
Glad I got
wizard
that.
level. The ritual takes 8 hours to complete. So
wow?
I have
8
to
hours.
wait. I have to wait a full week. Then I have to spend 200 gold per my level, which we're level 4 right now.
If you level
And
by 5 by
then-
the end of the week, though,
I have to do a ritual for 8 hours. It's the dumbest thing I've
Oh,
ever heard
well.
in my life.
Well, really glad I got out my preemptive roll there. 3 dice, 4 ones. Not great.
Ooh.
I mean, you got yeah, you got all one.
It
Like
was all
even the
ones.
11s.
Technically, all ones.
Oh my gosh, what is happening?
Dun, dun,
So
dun.
yesterday, it was like 11:11, and we went to we went to lunch, and because we had like a lunch meeting, and then we left lunch at 1:11, and then at night I got home at 1:11. This is weird. This 11s and 1s are following me, and I don't know if I like it.
You might want to, I
Well-
don't know, buy like a lottery ticket or something.
it's better than 23. That's the one you got to watch out for, I hear.
Why do you?
Oh, that was a
why
good
do you
movie.
It's a
23.
decent movie. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it's not just a movie, though. There's like a real conspiracy theory around the number 23, which inspired the movie. That's like a real thing.
That made me
I like the
realize
It's
number
not a
12.
real thing that
can do other
23
things
is
other
like
than
a
comedy.
whatever, but some people believe that.
Pecker just trying to claw his way back out of the underworld. We'll see. I mean, can you imagine, like, if you could look inside of the mind of Pecker just to see exactly what he experienced, how many times he was close to death, how frequently he thought he might have been food?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Probably
think
a
you
lot.
could technically look inside the mind of Pecker right now.
No.
I could just see it, Oz going, "Oh, Picker, we've brought you back," and Picker going, "Oh God, no, oh God."
I'm just
You
saying, there's a lot of
speak with
scientists
dead.
out there that could maybe make use of Pecker's brain.
Wow.
I'm just saying, this is how we learn more.
True. So,
He's a magical
on-
chicken.
well, on topic, let's talk about what you guys can actually remember from the last time we played.
Well, we started off with Raya and Eli bathing, so
They were, in fact, they were.
Oh,
They were.
yeah, that was a good episode.
They were scrubbing each other's backs. And,
Yeah.
But down, but
how did that bathing scene go? If you can recall exactly, Ello, I'd love to hear your take on it.
Kind of like the one in Berserk,
Oh?
where Griffith and Guts shower together.
Yeah.
And they splash pails of water on each other and
Yeah.
giggle.
And
When Ryan was like, "I thought you said no long swords in the bath." He's like,
Yeah.
"That's not a long
And
sword."
then it flexed.
Oh my god.
Flex. And then Eli flexed, but I was stronger. But,
It's not how I remember it.
Oh, how do you remember it?
I remember I flexed so hard my armor popped off. And
Oh, okay.
A little piece hits you right here, and then I had to just
Wipe
you
the
know.
smudge.
wipe it off. Yeah.
With
It
your
was hot
body?
though.
The bromance intensifies.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, the fanfic intensifies.
Listen,
None of that
okay, first
really
of all,
happened, you guys.
Are you talking
you
about the
sure?
outward RP that we displayed for the chat, or the secret DMs that we were doing behind the scenes with each other?
Oh my
A little bit of
God.
column A, a little bit of column B here.
Which version of this are we? Okay.
Okay. All right.
It's canon now. Yeah.
Hmm.
Perfect.
We had a Torvin was there too.
Yeah,
I think
Torvin
we're
was there.
forgetting that, you
Yeah.
know, Torvin was part of
Wincing.
this.
trying not to look.
Wincing.
Well,
we did
okay,
most of the
so what
talking.
really was happening here is there was a lot of tea spilling
Yeah.
about how they feel about the other party members.
That's true.
That's what really actually happened.
Hey, there might have been a little gossip happening.
There
Little
was-
gossip sesh.
It was like a flock of I don't know, Golden
on.
Girls were in a room
Flock
together.
of gold.
A flock of golden girls.
That's called a home. A home of Golden
A
Girls.
whole flock of them. Like, not just one, not two. This is all
Walk in the house and all
flock
you-
of those
Terrifying.
You walk
Do
in
you
the
know
house
that
and all
the
you hear
Golden
is,
Girls were
"Thank
only
you
like
for
50?
being my friend."
Oh, don't even talk about that. I'm the same age as Archie Bunker.
Yeah.
That I'm scarred for life when I saw that meme. I wanted to just hurt whoever created it.
We
Damn.
did talk a lot about, I forget exactly what we said about it. I think we were just kind of like, I don't know, maybe like, I feel like, and I could be wrong, Eli was being critical about several members in the party, and I was agreeing or disagreeing.
What do you mean?
Not critical, just speaking openly.
Yeah, I mean, not critical in a
Yeah.
bad way necessarily.
He
just
heard
like,
the whole thing.
You each went
Observation.
through every one of us and shared your thoughts on each of us.
It was like a burn
separately.
book.
It kind of
Yeah.
was. It kind of was.
Like
Wow,
mean,
I
you
didn't really
can't
see
sit
it
with
that
us.
way.
Don't just put this on Eli.
Right? On Wednesday, Rye wears pink.
Yeah.
I know I talked mad shit about Tripp.
Eli's like,
That's not
Tripp-
good. That's like
Tripp
normal
is a fugly slut. Fucking full on burn book.
God.
Good lord.
He's always trying to get everyone's attention.
Yep.
Such an
Yeah,
attention whore.
I think I threatened to kill him or get rid of him several times behind his back.
You did that to
Obviously.
my face, not behind my back.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Or as well as.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
In
What
addition to
what was the consensus? What did you guys come to? Like, was there an agreement, or were you guys at ends with your tea spilling about the rest of the crew?
I remember.
What,
kind
you
of
want more?
agreeing. I actually walked away feeling like Eli and Rye were kind of on the same wavelength a little bit on some of this stuff. Maybe not as extreme as certain perspectives, but I feel like we kind of agreed with each other on things.
Okay.
Except for
Yeah, I
Oz.
said that.
Except
I
for
said
Oz,
that
I
you
think.
should give the town the gem, and you said you'd talk to Temerity about it.
Yeah.
Truth.
Yeah.
Then you said you had something to talk to her about once we got there to make me think that you had it covered.
Yeah, but hey, man, some crazy shit has happened. Okay, I haven't had an opportunity yet. But
I
the
know.
first thing I did
I'll-
was make
Don't worry,
it
I'll
up.
check up later.
Hey, I'm doing all I can. What more do you want? I can't help it if a guy comes out of the fireplace and attacks us. That's not on me.
That was weird.
That happened to me.
It
There-
happened to
Well, he
all
didn't-
of us.
He didn't attack
And
me.
he
To be
didn't
fair,
attack, but
he didn't attack
dragon
anybody.
guy.
But if you're gonna come out of the fireplace at this point, 2 weeks into this place, I'm gonna consider you an enemy. If you're coming at me from the fireplace because you're like a ghost thing,
That doesn't
I'm
necessarily
sorry.
apply to everybody that's come to that fireplace, though.
listen, just come to the front door like a normal person. We'll talk.
Okay.
You can't just come through fireplaces.
It's less
You're not
dramatic,
Sirius
though.
Black, okay? You can't just manifest yourself in the coals and
He's-
start talking to me without
he's-
me getting a little alarmed, okay?
Yeah, but if you're like the visage of like a god or something, why go through the front door when there's other options?
Truth.
Listen, that's a
Like
very
you're
good
not a
question.
plebeian.
You can
You
be
don't
like
need to
Santa
use
Claus
the
and use the
door.
fireplace.
Yeah, exactly.
Santa
Ho
in
ho
there.
ho.
Well, then expect, Ryan, who doesn't understand a lot, to get a little frightened. Okay?
He did in fact get a little frightened. But before that, you guys did have a small piece still inside of in the town. We got to see that everyone in town discovered the body of the dwarf, a particular dwarven woman. Remember, you lifted the
Yep.
apron from the face.
Jorfa.
Jorfa, thank you. There you go.
Yep, I examined her medically.
Yeah, how'd they go?
She had a deep
She did.
incision on her face where flesh had been removed, and she had been struck by lightning, it looked like, because she had streaks of electric burns up and down her body.
Yeah.
Marking her flesh, her charred flesh.
What did you think as
Smelled
Eli?
terrible.
As Eli,
Why
what
you
what
gotta
was your
say it
go-to?
like that?
What was your like?
Because
Oh,
it
this was
is.
This happened because they constantly handle lightning in a blacksmith shop. This is normal. What was your go-to? Your thought on that?
Thought that Oz did it. Pretty much. I was like, probably some more wild magic, because Temerity grew as big as a house and knocked the whole building down and fireballed Sokar.
Yeah.
So when will those damn mages learn to control themselves?
Truth. Those damn mages. Rough.
Spoiler,
Absolutely rough.
never.
Do with me.
Couldn't love it. I love it.
I felt bad later when I learned you killed Pecker, though.
What was Rye's take?
Touched my heart.
Oh, just that there was another murder he had nothing to do with. Just
Sick.
another party member killing another townsperson, you know. Just
Completely
another day
Here
in
we
the
go
office.
again.
Here
We
go
all get a
again.
turn.
And then everyone's going to call him evil. All right. So, you know.
How are we gonna rob them if they're all dead, right? Like,
Oh God.
Rye had no affiliation with this dwarf woman, and it was just like just a random town death to him. He doesn't really care that much. I mean, he cares in as far as like, as long as it wasn't some like evil outside force. But yeah, it was. He had his suspicions. It was pretty clear that it would, you know, once we got back, that it was Oz, and then he didn't care.
Okay. All right.
yeah, Pevern tried to lie to us. Well, not Pevern, but Silwith tried to lie to us and take the heat onto himself.
Oz has been through a lot. What the fuck? You think I'm just gonna I know I caused him trouble. You think I'm gonna leave my boy just to be fucking yelled at by you? Fuck no, dude. No,
No,
You know
no,
what?
that's terrible.
To
I'm gonna
be
burn
fair-
down the bloody village.
fair.
Yeah.
So with lit everything on fire. He was like,
yeah,
this
after
shit,
the fact,
they
yeah, but I
dead.
knew
Let's
that.
light this shit on fire.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah.
It's like, first off, she was rude. She was rude to us. That not already condoned, justified.
She was already
You
dead.
were rude to her.
She's a
dwarf.
dwarf.
First
the
off-
village.
First off, she was rude to me, so that already justified burning her.
Oh.
You know,
even if she was
do
alive.
I burn the lady
Okay.
at Target who's a bitch to me?
Yes,
At the post office?
metaphorically.
Do you burn down the target?
Right?
that's
The
right.
red light? Come on.
Yes, you do. Why?
Okay.
Because it proves a point. And my
It also
my
gets
point-
you arrested.
My point was proven.
Eli,
Alright.
get the hammer.
Honestly,
I'm gonna get the cube, the hammer, the cursed hammer, the Bible, everything.
Oh my goodness.
She deserved everything and worse. If I could light that fire a second time, I
Wow.
would do it in a heartbeat. I'd be
Oh
like,
my gosh,
yeah,
Jim in chat's like, oh, they're just performing a cremation.
yeah.
Okay, guys, look. The
I
kid
would toss
doesn't
her in
need
the
hands.
forge. I would have thrown
just
her in the
saying-
forge if I could have.
If we don't let the kid have hands, he can't get into any more trouble.
Wow. That's, you know,
And
Hey,
nobody
hey.
will want to take his body and
Hey,
try to make it their
fucking
human
watch
puppet
me.
living shell.
I can't argue with that logic though.
And
I
then
get it.
we'll just take care of him forever.
I damn near killed a kid with my ghost hands. You think I'm gonna have trouble doing that with you guys?
I think that if you don't have a host body that you're gonna like wither away, I don't know how you work. Okay, if you come near me, I'm gonna blast you with holy stuff.
I know how I work.
Okay.
I work and twerk. That's what I do as a ghost. All right.
Yeah, I've seen you twerk. I've seen what your twerk involves.
See your twerk in action.
I don't like it.
I will say that like Rye was actually sort of confused why Oz was as upset as he was over the kill. Like when he first got there, he's like, "Why? Like, why are you even this upset? Like, like who? Like, aren't you used to this?" And
Who
that was when
died?
it was revealed that
Taking a
this
hit.
was like a first adventure for Oz. Oz thought that like, or Rye thought that Oz was like a hardened adventurer or like
Yeah,
the
Commander
adventure.
Oz.
yeah,
Seasons.
like not like that, but like that he, you know, that he's seen some shit. Like he's okay with a little death, you know. And
He
that's
Not
why,
showed
like,
rodeo.
some of the other apprentice cooks some things once. You know, gave him a couple of lessons.
yeah.
So he's
but he didn't realize how like
had
amateur,
minions.
how amateur. Because Oz to Rye has always been really competent, so he just assumed like the competency was experience.
Getting away with it.
Yeah, but it was just sometimes just
Oz
blind
is just
luck.
really good at bluffing.
Yeah. So right, but then when I found out it was, Pecker, then he was like, "Oh, okay, this makes way more sense."
Yeah, it was
And-
great because Rye's like, "How long have you been adventuring?" And Oz is like, 14 days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
long
yeah.
have you been
Ryan's like,
in
no.
Like
How
the
long have you
beans.
been
What's the
adventuring?
time?
No, I think you misunderstood. It surely can't be 14 days. That's the whole length of this thing.
When
Just
did I
wanna
get here?
give-
2 weeks
Give
ago.
him a
Yeah.
donut. I feel like a donut
Uh.
would just make Oz so happy.
Ooh, a donut would.
What
It
is
would
this?
make
Are
Misty
donuts?
happy.
Do they
Yeah.
exist?
It would make
Well,
a
they
lot of
would've.
people
Hey,
happy.
you're a goblin
If-
cook. You can make that shit exist, all right?
So
You got
far
magic.
was around.
Wow!
Might
Oz
Donut.
is gonna invent donuts. I'm
Just
in.
another murder, not Rye's fault.
Get the
You
deep
know-
fry bread or dough, I think. I don't know.
Sleep in your own sleeping bag tonight.
Hey, you might not know
Ooh.
this, but in your party there is,
Several murders, including yourself.
somebody who might understand a little something about bakery. Just a little.
Gosh, I feel we're the murderistas. That's our new.
Oh my god, it's a fucking great name.
I've not
Oh,
murdered
no.
anyone.
I mean, my name is Rye.
Give it
Except for
time.
Rats. I've
Give it
murdered
time.
Rats.
You'll
Oh
join us.
my gosh,
When
Fat
does your
Man, that's
magic-
so true.
When
I
does
bet
your
you
magic kick in?
Oz will try to cook a donut with magic and then just AoE PK the whole
And that's
whole
it.
party.
And
Well,
scene.
There
Donuts.
goes Karen.
No.
But donuts were invented.
Donut infused with
I
circle
mean,
of death.
worth really if you
Oh
want to
my
get technical.
It's feasible.
And
I mean, if you honestly, you don't really have too many people that have dreams like that in a tabletop game that's like medieval fantasy. It's never like someone's like, I must avenge my family, or I have to find the man who stole the trinket that mattered to my father. No one's ever like, I want to learn how to make donuts. Like that doesn't occur. But
It
Well,
does
you've
now.
never played a game with me.
I'm here for it.
Bub. No,
I'm here
kidding.
for it. Let's I like bring the donut dream. Let's go.
Oz is a chef.
Can we just
I get
do
to see it.
with
I had a
less
dream about a
rigidness?
round, sweet thing, and I think I could make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the only other thing that happened was the ghost.
something gooey and doughy, but kind of a little sugary, maybe with a little glaze on top.
Now I
damn it.
really want a donut.
Oh God. All right. so
Sorry, now we're all hungry.
No
Um,
joke. We've strayed far from the sun.
Moving
We just,
on from that,
we just
Oz
want to hit
is
a bakery at
sad.
this point.
And then there was ash in the fireplace.
We had a couple of people talk to Oz specifically. Like I remember Eli coming in like, I'm gonna fuck Oz up, and then like the conversation, hey buddy, what's going on? How you doing? Then that
Where's your chicken?
yeah.
Hey, I
Well, I
got
think
this liar
Temerity-
outside lying to me. What happened?
Temerity came in and talked to me first. And then Eli came in, and then Eli sent Rye in to hopefully make Oz feel better.
Get in there, cheer him up.
Yeah.
Cheer him up. Yeah.
Yeah, that went in directions.
About as well as to be expected.
Yeah.
It was so difficult because I was like trying to be sad, but they were making me laugh so hard.
It was good though. It was sad. It was really sad. That's where we
Sad.
saw that stark change for Eli of like I'm gonna right these wrongs finally. And I'm actually really surprised nobody did much about Tripp, about Silwith.
Yeah.
That was, and I know it's not like completely out of the realm of possibility where you do something now, but like based on the events that last occurred, he had lied a lot. He lied to everybody, and you realized, I think specifically it was Temerity first that realized like, no, something's not adding up. You wanna out yourself? And he's, no, I did it. I killed all of them. It was me.
If we bury him in the ground next to the peach tree, what would the skill check DC need for him to pass to get out?
How deep? And is it his
Like
entire
to
body?
up to the neck.
Okay, up to
How
his
deep
neck.
do we need?
So his head's popping out, and he's like, "Ah, peaches."
And can we make sure it doesn't crush his body? Because that happens.
It would be difficult.
Peaches?
It would be difficult.
No, those kids
I'm
who
up
bury
for it.
themselves in the
Torvin's up
beach,
for it.
they sometimes like.
Look, I'm just saying we could come and feed him every now and then, just while we're
What?
Yeah, that's
Just
happened. Maggie.
while-
People have like buried themselves like neck deep, and the sand shifts too much.
Yeah.
and it crushes them.
Well,
I
it's
have
not
never
gonna be
heard of
fine.
that.
Hold on,
100%.
It doesn't crush them. What happens is when they breathe naturally, they inhale and the sand displaces the area
Yeah.
where they would breathe.
it's
Which
dirt.
crushes them.
It
Okay,
basically
okay.
suffocates them.
Yeah.
We'll put
It
him
doesn't
in a
like
box.
crush. Like it's not like
Put him in a box.
Yeah,
it's not like
We'll
bones are
bury him
breaking, but like
in a
it's
box.
like
we can find a
it
box.
slowly
They can't
it slowly
breathe.
happens. Yeah, it
it's
slowly happens.
It's asphyxiation.
Honestly,
Stick a bamboo pole
I mean,
down in
potato,
there to
potato
breathe.
at that point.
if
Can
you,
we make like a gel case and put him in it, and then put the case in the ground?
Gel. There you go.
I don't, bro. They are plotting your death. This
Bring
is what
bring
Get
the
out of
town's
peach.
jello.
Peach
with the
fruit.
donuts.
Don't add us all into this.
You'll join us.
No. What?
I was not team death to this guy until he lied to me, and then now everybody's crispy and your chicken's gone.
He
What a-
gave a cursed item to the evil wizard man.
Yeah, that
I mean,
wasn't
yeah,
cool.
that's
Yeah.
Waltzed
sus.
out and he made all of you pass out, and I was like, "Great!"
You
Everybody
attacking
passed out on me. Got
caused that.
teleported.
So what did this guy have to say that came from the fireplace? I completely forget.
So he said he only came as a warning.
yeah, and that was Father Charlatan, who was bound in chains, being dragged back to Harrowstone at the time.
Yeah, it was
letting
Suffolk
us know that
Corvin.
the other dude's getting meat.
The
Something
warden
else
is getting
going on.
stronger. He's killing them. He's got
Yeah.
someone bigger and better than Pevrin.
Yeah.
A monstrosity of a man.
Might be the sheriff somehow, maybe. Which is his.
Well, something's making the sheriff.
Yeah, I don't know. Recycling him.
There's still something
I
that I
don't know.
really hope Bub does.
Let me
Hasn't
rest,
done it yet.
get my juices back, and then
I'm
we'll
gonna
go
punch
hit
you
the
in-
Harrowstone
I'm gonna punch
real
you in your
hard.
fucking sleep is what I'm gonna do. All right, you're not gonna know peace. You want to know what it's like to be
You're
dead?
already in the
I'm gonna-
ground.
I'm gonna keep you up for the rest of your fucking
Oh,
life.
I got
all right?
listen. Rye's got something for you. All right, Rye's
gonna
got
fart
something
into
for
your
you.
breathing tube.
I really actually want to bury him in the ground at this
Ew.
point.
Rye has something for Pevrin for sure.
God, dude.
I would like to go on record that I adore Ronald, and I don't want anyone to think that this
Ronald,
is anything
can
but
we just
me.
say before this session
His
continues,
character is
we all
trying to
love you.
kill us.
We absolutely adore you. We love you.
I
I'm
love
starting
you guys
to hate
too.
Ronald in real life because of this.
No, he's awesome, but his character is trying to kill me.
It's
I
hands down
think.
one of the funniest like threats I think I've ever heard. I've heard some shit through D&D before, but literally someone to, I will fucking kill you. You will have restless sleep for the rest of your life. I will fart in your breathing tube. Like,
Yeah,
so
I was
fucked
like,
up,
what?
man.
That's a real threat, though. I mean, you think about that situation. Oof.
Jeez.
Did any of you guys ever try the it's like a thing that you can smell-o-vision almost?
Yes.
They had it for
No, thank you.
Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
Yes, I did a thing with.
I literally that smell was in my nose for fucking ever. I had to sign a waiver.
Really?
Josh.
Yeah.
Josh OG and I had a sponsorship at one of the cons where we got in a booth and we competed against each other. My audience versus his. It was like a numbers game, and I lost every single time because he
I
has
was
1,000 more viewers
gagging.
than me, and I had to put on like a mask with that stuff, and that was sprayed. But then they gave me
Yeah.
underwear which smelled like Febreze, so I had to put the underwear on my face to like not smell that thing. So
What
then I'm
the
either got
fuck?
underwear on my face or I've got fucking stink smell. It was a whole thing.
Was this for
It was
exposure or for
awful.
did they pay you?
They paid
I
me.
got paid by
It was a
Twitch.
sponsorship.
That's good.
to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, same here. I think we
I
did
had the
like, same
developers
campaign.
with me, and they were like, and I was playing the game, and it was awful. I mean,
Oh,
the game was great, but the
Experience was awful.
the experience was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was being facetious because there's no way you do that without money. Oh my god, I don't think that they can have you do that stuff at TwitchCon without money, except for the charity stages.
They said that if I was gonna throw up, I had to like leave the stage. Like because I was gagging, but they were like, if you're actually gonna throw up, you need to like leave the stage.
My god.
Will I be?
Because I was one of the hosts for like PAX, and we had the developers on, and then we had to sign a waiver to put this awful thing on our face. The thing was fine. It was just the farting smell was the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life. For weeks, you just
Sorry.
You kept getting like hints of it.
yeah.
Sounds
It
horrible.
was like
Oh.
in there.
Yeah.
It I can imagine it like those beans, those stupid beans. Like
Oh,
that's in my
bamboozled
head. Yeah.
beans.
oh yeah.
Those
oh.
aren't that bad. The worst one.
They're-
Oh.
No, those
The
are
worst
bad.
one is the dog food one because it just like lingers and it's like dry in your mouth.
Have
It
you
was-
had the stink bug?
I did, but I don't think
Stink
that one's
bug
as
is bad.
bad.
It
was-
stuck
it was
in
the
my
fish.
teeth for
Bad,
like I
Yeah.
couldn't get it out. I had to get like dental tools and pick it out like because it was so in there and it was like
Urban.
There was a real
Urban.
problem in our in our home with losing the remote. It was happening a lot, especially Junie.
Hmm.
So as a punishment, we made a game where it's like, if you lose the remote, you have to try what you call it. Yeah. So
Damn.
like,
That's a weird punishment.
yeah. So like, but it was fun for her. Like she was kind of, so it didn't feel like a punishment. It was just because half of them were good. It was like a mystery. You could reach in there and get like
dude.
a strawberry, or you could reach in there and get like
Leave it to
dog
Ello.
food.
You lost the remote. Time for your punishment, right?
Yeah. Like I was like,
Time to take a gamble.
but it was for all of us. If any of us lost the remote, because it was getting bad. Like we were
Bro.
losing it like every day.
Dude, Junie just watching, like waiting for you. She's just trying to catch you up, like, oh shit, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Look, no, mom, look. And it's like, I didn't do nothing. Like, you just see Ello trying to like get out of shit.
Yeah, man, we got bamboozled.
Oh,
You
that's so
didn't- you
good.
lost the remote.
Oh, that's fucking funny. No, dude, it was the fish for me. The dead fish that, and it was like $10, and I would try being boozled, but someone's like, I'll give you $100 if you put 5 of them in your mouth right now at the same time. And I was like, 5? 1 is already enough. And like, fine 5, fine do 5. And I had to walk away. It made me sick. Like I actually vomited. It was disgusting.
yeah.
I
I
would
had
have taken
one.
5 the same color.
Nope.
For
I had
me,
one,
it's like
and then I never did it
5.
again.
It's just the sugar. There's so much sugar.
Yeah, that too.
I like jelly beans, but I don't really want like jelly bellies, but I don't want weird flavored ones.
Yeah,
Can I just
yeah.
have normal flavored
Dude,
ones?
I don't know how
Right.
anybody can do that shit, right? Like,
No.
like Jared, they give him like $100 to chug a bottle of syrup, like a whole bottle of syrup, and he did it.
You know
And-
what's bad? And there's video of me doing this. For St. Jude, I like ate what's it called? Kool-Aid, just the powder.
The
for
powder?
Kool-Aid.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's the most
Oh,
disgusting.
without
and
sugar,
also,
it's horrific.
Yeah.
the orange flavor is worse than the purple flavor somehow.
No,
Yes, I did this twice to
almost
myself.
nothing tops watching Cora eat that spider. That gave my skin
Yeah.
like willies
Oh,
for days, dude.
No.
Yeah, it was alive and everything.
Bro,
Oh.
it fucked me up. I like
Nope.
Ate it,
whole
yeah.
body curl because it's like it was the most animal shit I've ever seen on Twitch because Ello as Adam he's like, you don't have to do this. I'll do it. And he's got like a fucking oven mitt on. He's wearing
Yeah,
an
'cause
oven
I'm
mitt.
holding a spider,
Yeah.
like a live spider.
He's got an oven mitt on and she's fucking honed in, dude. It's like Jaguar like watching prey, right? Full on leopard mode. It's like you don't have to do it. Then she's like shh. And then out of nowhere, like she hits it, dude, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, run away! It was fucking
No.
horrible.
The worst I ever did was do you remember the Most Stuff Oreos?
Yes.
Yeah, they were like giant, like almost
2
like
inch
a
tall
brick.
Oreos. Yeah.
Yeah, I would eat one for $5.
Ah, that. I bet
That's
that
a lot
would
of
be
sugar.
weird.
I was
That's
like,
too
that's
much
so much.
sugar.
I could
I'll
taste
never
that,
do
and
that
I'm not
again.
even eating one right now. Like
Yeah.
I could taste the amount
Spider
of frosting.
freaks me out. That
Yeah. They're
Cora.
almost equal except for the freak out factor, right? Cora wins this.
yeah, she
discussion.
wins.
Yeah, she's kind of a badass for that.
A live spider is horrifying.
No,
What?
oh God, I can't. No.
Anything alive, I don't want to eat it. No.
I don't. Yeah, I'm right there with
Yeah,
you.
no,
Some people
I'm
do
good.
it like because they want to, but I
Yeah,
don't think I
no.
can.
More power to him.
No.
I always say I'll do anything for the kids, but I won't do that.
No.
Hey man, we were up and coming. Listen,
Yeah.
it was a different time.
I understand.
We were, you know.
I just not.
Guys, I ate vanilla bean ice cream last night. It was good.
Jim, that's what we
Wow,
need in
Jim.
life.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
What a
Jim, I'll
crazy
do
More
thing.
of that.
Living
Yes!
wildly. Oh goodness.
Well, that went on a tangent.
That
Sorry.
was good. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Thank you. It's honestly it's just
we
been
don't
good getting to
know.
talk with everybody.
We don't know what body this bigger thing is in, but it's there.
Yeah.
The warden's a bad guy now. Watch out.
Why? Why is the warden a bad guy?
Because they caught him and they did whatever. We took too long.
They caught him and they did whatever because you took too
Rejected
long.
him.
Is that what everybody thinks?
I
You
think
you
the
took
whole
too long.
point was
Took
they
over
took
him.
That's right.
Some
That's
evil
right.
ritual.
Rejected him.
Yeah,
I thought they were
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
take him away.
Okay.
I think the warden is consuming other things' powers.
Okay.
Yep. I think it's eating
Is
the
the
ghost
warden the
peoples.
real problem? Like maybe these four
I think now.
aren't the bad guys.
I mean, they're probably just trying to GTFO. They're like, get me the hell out of here before
What did
this
his
guy
wife say
eats me.
about him early on? Because I feel like at first she was like,
Soriana?
save him. Yeah,
Yeah,
like help
she wanted
me.
us to save him.
Yeah, but maybe she means save him from himself.
Maybe.
That's for sure an option.
Well,
got?
we found out some other things that she didn't really know what was really happening.
Well-
Yeah, she's dumb.
So if you're thinking about timelines, right? Just consider timelines. When did Petros die?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, like three weeks ago in game.
Yeah.
Mm.
Why did he die?
Because the thing fell on him.
Gargoyle.
Gargoyle fell. But we know that that's not what happened. You were exposed to it. Someone like relived the entire experience. You got to see what happened.
Temerity relived the experience of what happened to Vesoriana, right? Like, we kind of got the
Yes.
vibe of...
Yep.
And heard her kind of being like, they're going to kill the warden, and she kind of shows up, and she's, like, looking for her husband, and there's, like, men dragging her away, and as she's, like, flailing like an idiot, barrels fall over, and then a man drops a torch, and there's flame everywhere, and, like, that's how the fire started, is what we're assuming.
Right, but how did a gargoyle fall and kill Petros and then repeatedly maim his face?
Oh, the gargoyle thing. That was different, right?
The Whispering Way.
So was
They
it
were there.
was it convenient that the gargoyle fell, or did someone push the gargoyle?
No, someone pushed it.
I thought the gargoyle
It
was
wasn't an
for
accidental gargoyle.
Warden Hockren. I thought that was the thing that killed him.
It's
And
killed
then-
both. There's a lot of
It's
fallen
killed
Warden-
gargoyles
multiple
around
people,
here.
yeah.
Warden
There's lots of
Hockren
deaths.
didn't die
They
from a
just fall
gargoyle.
out of the sky.
Sheriff, the
Professor
brother, younger
L.
brother.
Died
It was
from a gargoyle.
Kendra had witnessed the sheriff die to
Correct.
the falling gargoyle.
That's
Correct.
what
So
it was.
somebody's got a gargoyle fall spell. I don't know who is casting that, but somebody's
Someone's got a fetish for stone sculpture, and it's
Somebody's
weird.
got a level
Someone's
5.
got a trebuchet.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
right.
something
And they're
like that.
firing gargoyles.
But we
There's
don't
like
all know that
There's just a
Eli.
bad guy like 500 yards out from the town launching gargoyles. And we're all like, who's doing it? What's happening? And every day he's just launching more fucking gargoyles.
He
We
thinks
don't
it's
all
safe
know
though,
that
right?
though. Eli and Rye know that because Kendra was talking to them about how she saw the sheriff's death.
He totally thinks it's okay because like it's an old prison. Nobody goes there. It's been completely abandoned for 50 years. I could launch gargoyles at it.
Yeah.
Lo and behold,
What?
he's killed like 8 people.
Launch over it.
It's like golf, you know, just get it into like a abandoned parking lot or something. Yeah.
No, there's you're there, right? Like you're there. You're not putting all of the details together just yet, but you've got enough at this point. So yeah, I think you can figure it out. It wasn't by coincidence that Petros died. You did discover that it was a murder. He was physically maimed so that he couldn't speak about it as a spirit, so that
Yeah, they,
there
like,
was nothing that he
his
could say.
jaw
Yeah,
was missing.
yeah. So that's a big tell right there that there was something fucky going on, And
Yeah, we're sus. We just don't know who.
We're sus of everything, I
Right.
think, at this point.
and you know it's been mentioned multiple times, even by Petros in his books, about the Whispering Way, what they're doing, why they're here, what's going on. But they're not here. You haven't encountered a single member of the Whispering Way. So did they fail, or did they succeed?
Well, I think they've probably unleashed a bunch of liches on the world.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Torvin thinks that's what's happened.
Yeah.
Torvin thinks that the Way was the one that killed him.
yeah.
And if that's the case, the Way have probably already done and gotten away. Otherwise, we'd be seeing them or something. So, if they're not there and that death has already occurred, they must already have gone.
And
if they're
Vesoriana,
gone, they may have done what they wanted to do.
yeah, Vesoriana had told you that her husband was doing something at the prison. For the last 50 years, he had done something at the prison. Proficiently.
Hold the ghosts in.
It held all the ghosts in, prevented all of them from leaving. He was this consistent... He was his own walking prison. Even after death, he has maintained a hold on the presence of every being there. Despite what happened to him in his life, he maintained. But something occurred with the Whispering Way, and now all of the ghosts are roaming free, or they're trying to break free. And something changed the Warden. Now he's, as you've guessed, he's taking
He's on
energy?
that red kryptonite.
He's on that red kryptonite. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Gorovin gave him some.
Oh, Gorovin. Are we still on that opinion that
Oh, we
Gorovin's a
are
bad
there.
guy?
Oh, no.
I'm just feeding the conspiracy theorist.
Which is whom? Which one of us is the conspiracy theorist?
I don't know. Probably chat.
I don't trust him.
You don't trust him. Okay. All right. Well, the session ended with, particularly, Tripp. You had attacked the man who introduced himself as Father Charlatan. You pushed his body outside of the Lormore residence, and he said some things to you. What did he say to you specifically? Can you remember?
So for that, he had mentioned that he had only come to give us a warning, that he wasn't there to fight, that there was a better conduit, I believe, than Pevrin, and that pretty much like the final hour of whatever's taking place is pretty much at hand.
Yes.
So he's drawing in all the souls now that he can. He's getting his big boy power up.
What's the point?
Assuming to break free from the prison or to take the spirit somewhere else, because that can only be the two things I could think of. If the warden if the warden's body or soul or some combination of both are being used, if he's mobile and he can move anywhere, if this group is from Nadal, I'm assuming they're trying to take those souls from there to Nadal for a reason.
Okay. All right. And what was the most damning information that led you to believe that he wasn't trying to misguide or misdirect you? What was the moment that you were like, no, yeah, this is he's being honest. He's being killed.
The chains in his body.
Yeah.
That he was
Oh
being
yeah,
dragged
he
back.
was like being
Yeah,
dragged.
he wasn't.
He, like,
I thought it was like his deitic symbols, but no, it was just like he was being hooked in
Yeah, something
and dragged.
had like meat hooked him and was dragging him back to the prison. Okay. And that is where we will return.
Little baby grappies.
And Pevrin has shackles on him now.
Pevrin does have shackles, that is correct.
Yes.
Apparently, Eli's thinking about cutting his hands off. It's fine.
Out of character.
Completely.
He's all Ronald's
back
hands. He's
after
all
the
Ronald's
session.
hands, not Pevrin's.
Oh, perfect. That's what we like
no.
hearing. Okay.
I'll kiss those beautiful hands. Okay.
God damn it.
Trying to make him
HR.
uncomfortable. Is it working?
Ronald,
Blushing.
as Silwith, You have just gained something that you aren't entirely sure is the most damning information, but it's at least informative enough to state that something is changing rapidly around you, around your peers, those that you call your allies, even if you have left them in a bit of a spot. You're standing outside of the Lormore residence. Well, you're floating in your Wraithen-like form. Father Charlatan is no longer there. Do you return back to the room where they were waiting, where they had just made attacks, slices across his body? Do you make your way back to the prison to investigate further?
Ooh.
What do you do here?
I feel like I've already kind of broken enough trust with this group, so leaving now would only kind of, I would say, exacerbate that situation.
Sure.
So Tripp will make his way back into the through the wall, pretty much where he shot through, coming through the fireplace.
You got it.
With less theatrics than Father Charlatan.
You got it.
Question. Since I had gotten my memories back, I was able to talk in my ghost form, right? To them?
To
the group.
The group. No, technically you are still a wraith. Even if you have your memories returned, you are still counted as undead, and your leaning speech is gutter speak. It's speech of undeath. When you, however, possess the body of a living creature, you gain their native tongue.
Okay. Yeah, I would go back, inspect the room. Is everyone okay? Do I see any?
What does this look like inside of the room?
The bedroom?
Yeah,
like
with the rest of you that are there. We would see practically everyone with an exception to Torvin is there. Torvin was watching
Evan's body, yeah.
You know that the spirit had disappeared. It's been moments. Maybe at best 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Not anything that's like so game-changing, right? But something pulled him out of that room or drove him from the room. Rye and Eli standing right next to each other. We see Oz on the bed.
Bewildered.
Temerity is
I
now
look
far.
up. Torvin looks up and asks, "Can we keep him out?"
A silence falls the room.
Oz doesn't know what's going on.
What did you ask?
Can we keep him out?
Oh.
Well, I don't know about that, but we can keep him tied up. In fact, have you ever heard of a thieves' cuff?
These shackles have held stronger than him.
What if he doesn't try to break them, but pick them instead?
That's where the thieves' cuff comes in. Rye starts reaching into his bag, pulls out a little bit of rope, and gives a little demonstration. And he basically shows him that you just take the thumb and you wrap it around the wrist. Keeps you from being able to pick lock.
That might work if the boy's arms weren't already heavily damaged. The tendons in his forearms were very strained from when he almost went down the well, or the hole, the lift.
Only takes one hand, though. I know I can do it in one, and I'm not even good with the lockpick.
Well, if it'll keep the rest of us safe.
So if you break back through the wall, Everyone's attention is drawn to somewhat familiar to unfamiliar wraith. The thing is, they're sort of nebulous in shape. They take on this blackened, wispy-like state. It's enough to still jar you even after this point, but based on his immediate movement, it's not seen as much of a hostile action. However, neither did Father Charlatan before he was struck multiple times. Silith, what do you do?
Guess approach the group and I guess make my presence known if they don't see me or sense me already.
No, you're very, very present to them.
Should I try to get rid of it?
I think Oz is over by Temerity because I came out of the room and then I was rushing to get my bucket, but you went and got my bucket for me.
Right.
And Oz is just like holding his crossbow, not sure what to do. And shaking a little.
Do you move past them to where Peverin lie flat?
No, because I mean, given the stance that they're taking there, I mean that's pretty clear. They don't want me to go back, and I can probably tell. Before I even left, I already saw Torvin putting the shackles on Peverin, so
sure,
I could take that hint. At the very least, I would try to form a ghostly little wisp hand pointing towards Harrowstone.
Sure, give me a will. Give me some exertion of willpower here. I want to see if you're able to form.
Okay, so we might not see his hand.
Fighting and striking out is a very natural thing for most creatures. It's something they can even take with them into undeath, but when it comes to expanding and doing something willfully so, it does require some effort, so let's see what he's capable of here. Yeah, that's good. That's good. It takes a moment, but you see this almost like this branching breakaway from the body before it swings up and forms this almost clawed-like hand that points in the destination and direction of Harrowstone itself. Does the head pivot at all? Do the eyes turn to Mark looking in that direction, or?
Yeah, I would try to give as much dictation as I can in that form, knowing that they can't understand me.
I think Oz will notice he's pretty observant and is like, I think he's pointing that he wants us to go to Harrowstone. And after what that other ghost said, maybe that's where we need to be. I don't really want to go, though.
At this point, I think we have to finish this, though.
Well, we don't even know what we're up against. How are we going to finish it?
That's fair.
Well, if you can take care of it like you did the blacksmith, then we'll have no trouble.
Oz looks down at his feet, like ashamed.
I think you might be the most powerful one here.
Tripp will hover past the group, going down the hallway, like if he's making his way out the door.
Do you guys stop him at all? Do you stop this wraith from moving freely?
Just looking at it.
Oz doesn't have a way to stop
Anyone
him.
else? Anyone else have a problem with this?
I can't do. What is Rye gonna do? Or I can't. I
I
mean, unless you,
You
want me to
just stabbed
strike him
the
with
other
sword.
ghost.
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to attack him,
Hold
I
on.
mean, but you're gonna have
Let
to.
me-
I want to know
No.
if everybody's okay with that.
What do you have, Misty?
I'm looking
If they
to
start
see-
arguing, I'll stop. Like if I hear him kind of speak out, like is no one gonna stop him? Like you'll see Silith stop and he turns back again.
He appears to be waiting. You can sense the discourse.
Burn down the blacksmith.
So,
Eli, do you have your hands up? Is this very visible?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay, so yeah, he's representing a big problem
Hello,
here.
my party, my comrades. I would like to discuss our glaring issue here. The traitorous apparition in the room that has taunted us and threatened us and caused damage to the town.
And lied to us.
Lied multiple times. Well, at least once that I can remember directly.
More
the
than
past
once.
Hour.
Well, fair.
Oz
down
was
the
an
boy.
eyewitness. I'd trust Oz over Silwith, if that even is his real name.
I don't know what we can do and not hurt the boy.
Boy's fine. I clear the hair out from his eyes and go towards my pack.
The boy is certainly not fine. His body has sustained quite a few injuries. I can see without even examining him.
Rye's looking over at Temerity.
What does this look like, Temerity? Are you processing this?
No, I'm giving him a look. Like there's very few things I can do to stop him from leaving, but I have them prepared if he does go, if he tries to go.
He does seem to understand. While he's failing to communicate right now, courtesy of the fact that he's in this form, he can understand that there's an issue, there's a problem, right? So, anything that you say right now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, right? All of you recognize that he's going to understand what you're saying.
The only way that I can be even slightly okay with bringing him with us is if he hovers nearby, and if something else tries to jump in to Pevrin, then he comes and takes it out, if that's in his power. But I think we bring the boy with us. We keep him shackled. If Silwith wants to float nearby and watch and listen, I don't know.
Can I talk to Silwith directly?
Why don't we leave Pevrin here?
You can
leave the boy here.
You may not necessarily be able to communicate with him, as far as you can tell, but you definitely know that you can speak with him.
You don't remember when we first entered the courtyard and the feeling of burning, and it when we had Pevrin near us, it was like we had a bubble of protection of sorts in Harrowstone, and I don't know how deep we can go without that sort of aid.
Don't matter.
I also don't know if we allow him to float near, if the boy will, we don't know that he won't be too scared to come.
Oh, I meant to keep him unconscious.
How?
Just leave the boy here.
I was hoping Jerminda could maybe possibly give us some sort of sleep aid, or surely they have some sort of anesthesia.
Do we know that? I mean,
the boy isn't your shield. Leave him here.
What happens if Silwith leaves the body and we don't know and we can't see him?
What happens if something comes and gets him while we're in there? We could walk away to Harrowstone, be halfway down the road, and something could pop in him and he could just follow us there and show up behind us.
This entire time that we've been here, it's always been a case of, but what if this happens? Where has it got us? It's time for us to be what if. I don't know about you. I'm packing up. I'm going to Harrowstone. I'm going to end this. That's enough. Leave the boy.
Well, how are you going to end it?
I don't know. I'll figure that out when I get there. But staying here is only killing people.
He's right.
I'm going.
We do have to act.
What? what am I gonna do?
You're gonna come with us.
Do what?
What you do best.
Your best.
I can't even do any magic here. Every time I do, something bad happens.
Fine, I'll protect us.
Temerity, with the knowledge that you have regarding apparitions and spirits, can you give me a knowledge religion? I'd like to see if you might have some information here. Are you happy with that? Would you like to try to roll again? You do have one luck roll. And statistically, you'll roll above that. Statistically, that's your call, though.
I'm gonna do it because then I'm gonna look at chat if I fail and hope we get another reroll.
Oh no!
Chat, you did
I'm real
this.
good.
Oh,
Chat, you did this.
All right,
Real good at
I
religion.
definitely goaded you into that decision, so I go ahead and take mine. Take my luck roll.
I don't know. I think we're gonna give chat just like a
just
moment.
give Chet a moment.
Okay, all right.
Sup, chat?
How are you? You look
You
nice.
did, Gen Human. You're off the hook. I am not a murder hobo. I am a murder lady. Thank you very much.
If you would like the reroll in the time, I imagine when
Hold on.
things get a little more stressful.
Hold on, wait. I winked at Farm. I think he's coming through.
I'm sold.
I'll give you another wink. Hold on. This is my sexiest wink. Glasses off, even.
Oh, I'm gonna need a minute. Gonna need
That's
a
When
minute.
I
for-
wink at people, they tell me not to do that
I was gonna
anymore.
say, everyone else, usually me too. Woo!
Hey, thanks so much,
magic
farming.
wink.
Perfect.
I
thank you
like
so much,
that
sir.
one of the people that got a sub is Big Toys for Big Boys.
Look
You
at
can't-
that.
Mm-mm.
Farm
that
Can't
coming
tell when Eli
through.
winks.
There you go.
That one's
22.
22.
It is.
That was a good one.
See, Farm, you're worth every penny.
Sheesh,
Oh,
well
hi,
done.
babe. Hi, husband.
Hey now, yeah.
Hey, anything for a good roll. Back off.
Perfect.
Wow.
22 is great. 22. That's exceptional. Look, you are aware that the boy has been a more or less a slave, right? For any kind of creature or any spirit that wants to utilize him. Now, so far you have seen up to this point that it looks like Silwith and Peverin, they jive very well. But this someone like him, someone that's a lantern, you know what I mean? That is a medium, a spirit medium. Anyone can climb inside. Now, you can bind his hands all day long, but what do you do if someone who can cast magic as a spirit gets in, and all they need is somatic components?
Yeah.
They can just talk. They can talk spells.
Or gagging it.
And gag him up, tie him up. This is some weird shit, man.
It's
Yeah,
just-
I feel like we're just going too far. Like I feel, and that I was actually kind of going there, so I'm glad to hear this. But yeah, the risk of leaving the boy is too great. The amount of people, the amount of bad actors who someone could come in and force Silhouette out of the body without very much skill. And
Right, why don't
That
you
can't
just
happen. Wait,
take
hold
a
on, how do
piece
you-
of you and put him in there?
it's not something I can do. Can you do that?
No.
Then I can. I'm an inquisitor. I'm not a necromancer.
I can soothe your wounds.
Well, we might have to soothe all our wounds for soon. The boy has to come with us. It's too dangerous for him. Never mind us. We're grown. We can take care of ourselves. And Silwith be damned. But the boy needs protecting, and we can't properly do that if we leave him here.
I'm not sure
Right.
we're gonna be able to do that if we take him there.
That's what I was thinking.
Would
What
you
if
rather
he's-
him have the potential for the oh god, what's the guy's name we just bumped into? Why am I forgetting all their names suddenly?
Father Charlatan?
What is
Yeah,
that his name?
would you like Father Charlatan to take him over?
I would prefer him not have a parasite at all.
I would as well, but right now
I'd prefer-
handle that. Can we go handle that?
we can.
I'd
But if we
prefer
leave
Father
him,
Charlatan over Silwith.
well,
He came
Some-
and warned us.
sometimes it's better the evil we know. He hasn't yet hurt the boy, and if we keep an eye on him, we can be sure of that.
I've tried to keep an eye on him, and every time I turn around, if I'm distracted by something, he's gone.
It's not just that. And this time, Rye looks over at. So, is there something to look at? Like,
Yeah, it's like an apparition.
It's quite
type
literally
thing.
like it's a maintained figure of like dark smoke.
okay. You saved
Look, we
my
got to
life.
get him to sign this NDA. Okay.
You saved my life once, so I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. I've seen you do good things. Seems like since you learned your name, though, you've been doing what you want and not what's the best for the group. Used to check in with us, used to tell us what was going on. None of us know what you're up to anymore, and you become a liability.
He was
I
less
got
of a liability before he found his name by giving the book to that thing.
Well, what if we talk to Groven? He's got all those other kids safe. The little
I don't
crystal.
trust that old man. You want to leave
fans?
Peverin with him?
Well, maybe he has some kind of bracelet that will protect him.
I don't know what kind of spirit or elemental that man is worshiping, but he said it was from the earth, and if you haven't looked around, the earth is
Well-
mighty messed up here.
Temerity said she wasn't a necromancer, but isn't that what Groven is?
Necromancer.
I don't know about that, but I think that Oz is right. I think it's worth a conversation. I think he's helped us already as much as he can. He
I'm
protects
ready
the
to get
kids.
a good night's sleep and to go into Harrowstone and to find whatever thing is lurking in there, put it into it.
Well, you go to sleep then. We'll go talk to Groven.
Would
You're not
you
gonna
do
let
that?
me talk
giving-
to him alone?
You're not providing us any solutions, Eli. You're pointing out the problems, and I agree with you. But there's nothing practical we can do.
Is there any way that you can form some kind of contract with that apparition so that he's bound to some sort of rule set while he's with us?
So, if you're not just a fixture in the room, you can react to this. I mean, you have agency here. Like, you don't just have to sit or float there as like your own light.
Yeah.
Do you say anything?
I mean, it wouldn't be anything audible. It would.
But like, what is your gut reaction?
I mean, they're not wrong. That's the thing. Like he understands that, you know.
True.
It's-
As Ronald, you realize they're not wrong, but as your character, as Silwith.
No, I mean, even kind of thinking it, not kind of, even thinking it in the mindset of Silwith, like getting the time to kind of sit here and think about everything that's happened. It's like, yeah, like they're not wrong. Like recently finding myself, I've become more of a liability to them rather than who I was before, you know. Before I knew who I was.
Well, you know that Rye is like, he's not just conversing with everyone. He's not spinning around giving a speech, right? Like he's actively talking to everyone. So
Yeah.
Well, I was actively talking to Silwith, and
Yes,
then
correct.
I was talking to everybody. Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I like as he like says that he's a liability, like you would see, you know, the formation of where his head is at, like nod, like yes, you're correct.
now, so what's interesting here, and I feel like I have to state this for personal vision. So for Eli, for Oz, for Torvin, and for Temerity, what you are seeing is a figure of darkness that seems to be like almost nebulous, this void-like shape and shadow. It's almost as if like someone's shadow escaped from their body and they put two hot coals as eyes that can occasionally distend these wispy-like nebulous arms. But this looks like something entirely different for Rye. Rye, you might see that silhouette-like outline of the figure, but What you actually see is the man in front of you. You see whom he was when he was alive. You just see the blackened out, this almost newspaper-esque version of him. Just dotted out like he's been washed away. But you can see every time he blinks, every mannerism when he nods. You can see his brows furrow. Silhouette never quite leaves, but standing before you is Silwith the man, not an apparition, as far as you can tell.
This is different for other people?
Nobody's really talked about it. Nobody has talked about it. Just you see this like this.
Can I cast something?
Of course you can.
I would like to cast Comprehend Languages.
Everybody duck.
And we're done. Scene.
This is how we all die.
Okay.
Campaign over.
So, you would normally be hit by wild magic, but someone has gone out of their way to protect your spell. So no wild magic out of that. Comprehend languages.
Didn't he say at the start there was no wild magic?
I got a couple, like, that's a thing. It was brought up and everyone's like, oh shit, I gotta get that in right now. And they did.
Thank you.
Whenever Torvin hears magical speak, he just dives behind something.
Fair. It's totally
Just hold
fair.
up the shield and keep doing what I'm doing.
My
Couch, a table.
protection.
The worst thing about this is that most of these require very, very little spell, like some somatic components or even actual like reagents. It's just like they can snap their fingers and the spell is happening. So
Yeah.
if you've got that kind of reaction time, if you've gone full like Catman and you can react to the finger snap and disappear out of a room, then impressive. But more often than not, it's as simple as like just saying a half of a syllable and in this case a pinch of soot, and that's what it takes for the spell. But no, it's fine. It's fine. You cast Comprehend Languages.
I would say as she does that, it looks like Solith is like hovering like back and forth, but I would say in this case, Rye can see that he's doing his pacing.
He's pacing, yeah.
And he's kind of just talking to himself. He's like, well, Gorovin does have the ability to possibly put a seal on him. It would prevent others from taking over.
Hello. You understand him. You understand him clearly.
Wait,
Misty.
hold on.
It takes a moment for the Comprehend Languages to really sort of get and coalesce to give you what Gutter Speak is actually giving you. But you start to pick it up as he's saying what he's saying, and you're like, yeah, Gorovin, he can do this.
It's like setting up a lock on a person, but I don't know anything about magic to do that.
Right, do you
But
say
he's-
anything to the others? Because nobody else is saying, like, it's like he's just dialoguing, right? He's monologuing at this point. And everyone else, what you hear is like real nasty, just real gross sounds.
Wait,
I just
that's
wanna
coming
hear
out
it.
of everyone else?
No, that's what everybody else hears when he speaks.
I just want to
hold
hit
on,
him with an
listen.
axe. I'd hammer.
Do you respond? My question is, Ello, do you respond back to him at all?
I need to know if I'm smart enough to know what's happening here. Hold on. Sorry.
No, that's the thing.
Put
It's
together that like
it's not even a level of being
boy.
smart. You haven't known it to be any different. For you, he has been able to speak, and you've understood him the entire time.
yes, correct. But what I'm saying is I don't know if I know that everyone else can't perceive that, right? I may not put it together that I'm the only one that
True, but you can read a room. You have learned to read a room, and when he speaks, everyone else gets that like tight-browed, like almost gross, like that look of like, oh, that's a horrible noise. Now, Misty, as Temerity, you understand him because of your spell.
And it seems to me that like he is just speaking out loud to himself. He's not talking to anyone. It looks like he's just pondering out loud.
It's because nobody's responding to him, but yeah, that's what it looks like.
I guess a magical seal could work. How does... I mean, he's a wizard. He would have to know how that works. He might even know necromancy, even though it is frowned upon here. But then again, a lot of things seem to be. I feel like I could go talk to him, but I feel like if I leave, I might get attacked by one of them.
When he says that, I'll look up sharply.
Only I had my puzzle lock here. It makes it so much easier to think. But tackling the boy would only leave people to try and invade him. Though surprisingly, none have shown up yet.
I keep listening. I just keep listening.
Temerity, you and Rye are not far from each other. And when you gave him that sharp look at the mention that one of them might attack him, I'm actually like, this is the thing here. Like, I'm really surprised. I know that you guys are just like really engrossed in the scene, but I find it a little challenging to believe that three of you would just sit there and let this like nasty gobbledygooks just continue to pour out. That this is going to draw some sort of reaction. Someone else is. I can't not think that Eli's like, all right, let's kill him because I can't stand this noise anymore.
Yeah, the only
I'm
thing
hearing
is Rice is
gutter
listening.
speak.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's the thing. It's not pleasant to the ears, right? It's like akin to fingernails on a chalkboard and like the sound
What's
of like
he doing?
animals being
Is
drowned.
he casting
It's
a
horrible.
curse on us right now? Give me the
I don't
sword.
know.
He's not.
Or Rye, go stab him. You stabbed the other father charlatan.
Oh my God, I am not casting a curse. I am trying to come up with
Still
an idea.
doing it quick.
Do you see why?
Silence the creature.
Do you see why they might think you were casting a curse?
Now she's doing it too.
It's not a natural creature.
Oh no, I'm speaking
She's speaking in common tongue.
And he understands.
He can
it.
understand.
You understand? Yeah. Finally. Yes, Gorvin might, or someone like him might be able to put a seal on Pevrin to prevent any of us from going into him.
Can I roll knowledge religion to see if that's something or arcane, something to know that if that's a reasonable thing to say, or if I think he's bluffing?
I mean, it's reasonable, but it might not be a religion. That's definitely a knowledge arcana.
Okay.
Ryan's looking at the others like sort of confused, but
No,
Oz
I don't
looks
know.
utterly confused.
I just want to hit it.
do you guys do you understand? Do you understand him?
Wait,
Of course
Right.
not. He's making
What?
weird noises.
Rye, you can understand me as well?
I give him a look. Yeah, I can understand you.
Oh,
I didn't know
well,
they couldn't. Wonder why that is.
I'll look over at Rye. I had to cast a spell to understand him.
Now I feel left out.
You're not missing much. So he's just kind of talking to himself.
What's it say? What's it
not
saying
understanding. He sounds like he's trying to troubleshoot how to protect the boy.
He mentioned that.
Yeah, he's done a real bang up job so far with that.
He mentioned that Groven probably could somehow protect or isolate the boy. I was
a
having hard
barrier,
time
like
keeping
the one that he has on his building, the one that made it really heavy for me to move around.
He's mentioning the barrier.
That's what I was thinking. That Pevin would be safer inside with him than with us. I don't think we should take him with us. He's just a kid.
Either way, I think we probably should go talk to Groven.
We
Seems
just
he
took
might
him with us.
have a solution to our problem. I look over at Oz. You don't understand him either. None of you.
The
No.
blob over there? No, I don't understand him.
I am still
The
with
blob.
Oz.
Oh.
Why does everyone keep making that face?
All right, everybody relax for just a moment.
When
You
you
said blob.
Yeah, he looks like a shadow creature.
I'll aside to Silwith and tell him.
Like if your soul was dark and blackened and it came out of your body.
He looks like the things that were going in there to punch in the face.
Looks like a shadow to me as well, but he looks like a man. He's got the body of a man, the shape of a man.
Thank you very much, Rye. That is...
Temerity, you don't see that at all.
No.
That is not what he looks like.
That is not what he looks like.
Wow,
now I'm surprised by Temerity.
We're not even, you can execute me. That should be better than the name calling that you consistently keep berating me with at
We're
this point.
not name calling you. We're literally describing how you look to us. I can only hear you because of a spell. They hear literal guttural sounds. They don't hear any words.
Hear your real tongue.
They don't see you. I don't see you. He sees you. And I'll just give Raya, like, why the hell do you see him?
I thought we all saw him. I'm as confused as you guys. I don't know, but what I do know is that
this.
I'm just happy people are talking to me right now.
Ryan, you remember back from this conversation, you go back to the first moment that you actually saw that man in that prison. When you glanced down at your hands, you were laying on top of Kendra's table, and you were in the prison. You saw smoke rolling into that cell. You looked down at your hands, and you saw lithe hands. That these were not human hands. These were elven hands. You saw the arms again, and they weren't yours. There were no burns. There were no issues that you know of your own. And then you glance down and you see his hands, and you have been able to see him since the first vision that you got when you entered into the town.
when I was hurt, when we first got here, and I almost died, what happened to me when we were...
I don't want to talk about it.
I remember a vision, and I told you guys about that vision. But was there anything that happened to me here?
I think at some point you were possessed by one of the five. Also, you were, I believe, poisoned by a creature, one of the centipede things.
Perhaps because he saved my life. Maybe I experience him differently. I don't know. I'm looking at Oz and Temerity. This is out of my depth. Do I feel, Bub, any sort of like connection to him? Like,
it's hard to say if it's a connection. You don't. It's not like you get closer to him and you feel something, right? Like there is not like a spark, but there is certainly something between you two that has created enough of like a parametric rift that you are able to view into the spectrum in the ways that others have to pay either dearly for or commit cause to magic, be it arcane or divine.
Then again, you know, I've not made it unknown of my past. Living in a doll might create relationships with the undead that are different, altered.
This isn't the first time that you've experienced
Mentally.
speaking to something that was once dead. You spoke to Hap. No one else spoke to Hap.
Seems I don't know myself as well as I thought.
Well, I mean, self-discovery is always an improvement, you know, through one's life or death, or
The more you
somewhere
talk
between.
right now, the more you frighten them. They don't
Question.
understand what you're
Yes,
saying.
why?
Out of character.
Yeah.
Who all saw Rise Tombstone? Did I see that?
Only you.
Only okay. I think while this conversation is going on, but he's only hearing, like, Oz is only hearing half the conversation. Goes, maybe it's because you died too.
See Sil with like slow turn over to Oz. What?
Rye looks over at Oz quickly. Yeah.
I saw your tombstone. Or
Where did you see my tombstone?
there was a tombstone. It said your name on it.
Here?
Where was that at? That was by the
You were peering.
centipedes, right?
You were peering through the window. You were at the Lorimar residence in their only front window in their parlor. You saw a wolf walk by, and as you blinked, there was a headstone. It said his name, his actual name, and it gave death dates, and it said something fairly important.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Well, I was just trying to remember what I saw.
Right.
Well, I was looking out the window over there, and it like came up. It didn't stay for long, but it said your name, your real name, and that you died in 4661 AR.
What's the date now?
4711.
Correct.
And then it had the words, "Come to my world and be as one, or as I am now, soon you will be. Embrace your end and witness me," or something like that. Something weird like that.
This isn't a time to fool around, Oz.
I'm not fooling around. I wouldn't do that.
What, out this window? And I go over to the window and I look out. What, do I see anything?
You see the peach tree. You see the moonlight.
I don't see it now.
That window.
Just like hovering over him as well, trying to see the same thing. It's like I don't see anything.
It's not there now, but it was for a moment. And also there was like a weird dog thing, like a werewolf or something.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to tell me is that I'm dead.
Cobalt, if you're trying to talk, you are muted, sir.
I don't know if you're dead, but maybe that might explain it. If you were.
Said you saw a dog or a wolf?
Yeah, something like that. It was like a human and a dog had a baby.
Didn't
like a real hairy
Didn't the
one.
professor have claw marks on him as well? The body?
Ryan's like contemplating quite a bit right now. He's like really in his head. He's trying to connect why she would feel that way or why he would be that way. Or have I ever had any other experience until now that would lead me to believe that I could talk to or interact with the undead in a weird way?
Right, you lived in Nadal most of your life.
Yeah.
You never really
I mean,
knew.
besides like regular adult bullshit,
You
know,
never
like,
really knew if you were talking to someone that was alive or that was a body that was an occupant. You know, it was a vessel for someone else that had once lived. And that's just kind of how business works in Nadal. So up to this point, sure, there's been some weird things. It's been a little tricks of the mind. And on some of those nights, you know, you imbibed a fair amount of alcohol and food. You admonished in reverie. And you never really knew what was real, what wasn't. But you know, since you left Nadal, nothing's been quite right, but better than it was in Nadal.
Maybe just living in Nadal has... Where's Jerminda?
Jaminda...
Oh no, there's more going on with you, Rye.
Jaminda isn't there. She is still in the
No,
square.
I'm asking like out loud as Rye.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
He had left, unfortunately, but I do not know where.
She was with
I don't
Dorfa
know.
last time we saw.
I wonder if Jerminda would see Silwith as he is, or if she would see him as you do.
I don't
Doesn't
know why
really
this is
matter what
important.
we-
We've got things to do.
Exactly.
My vote is for Gorovan. It's a risk like anything else in this place, but it's clear you don't want me inside Pevrin,
What's he
and
saying
I completely
now?
support that. But we
How
have to
can
take
we
him
trust
somewhere.
you? Why
I
did
would say
you
that
make so many decisions on your own? You put us in this position. How else are we supposed to react?
no, the way you've acted is it makes sense. It's logical. I wanted my life back. Imagine being stuck like me for 50 years.
You had a chance to have. Oh, I can't hear him. Sorry.
Imagine being stuck like me for 50 years, getting a fresh body to move around in. I won't lie, it's like a drug.
That doesn't mean
It doesn't. I know. And I'm not trying to give you an excuse, but it's the only one I can give, unfortunately. Insight to the dead. It's not always the best answers, but it's the one I have to provide.
I look over to the group. I don't know why I can hear him. I don't know why I can see him. I don't know why any of this is happening.
What did he say?
He's taking responsibility for his actions, regardless of how it happened. He's making this
Oh, he
more
feels
difficult.
bad, does he?
I don't know if he feels bad. I think he just acknowledges what he's done. Maybe he feels some sort of bad, but sounds like
That he's proud of it.
I wouldn't say that. I say he feels it's a necessity for figuring out who he is.
Killing Jorfel is a necessity. Burning down the shop. Oh, I guess he didn't kill her himself, but didn't
Oz
sound like he
looks
made
down
it.
at his feet again.
Didn't sound like he made the situation easy.
None of this is easy. None of it's going to get any easier. We got to make a choice. We got to decide what we're going to do. We're either going to take the boy or not. I think we should talk to Groven. Maybe he'll be able to help us. I know that's not what you want, Eli, but I don't see you saying anything helpful other than pointing out the obvious problems. Torvin, you seem hot-headed. You want to go and you want to face this evil, and I'm right there with you. But
I'm with Torvin as well. I want to.
we're
go
going
in there.
into something we don't understand.
Godorovan's a good idea. Leave the boy there. If we need to protect the boy, we do that by ending this.
All right. Let's go talk to Groven. I
Very
don't
well.
want to deal with this shit anymore. Rise heading to the door.
Oz will follow.
Temerity? Okay.
Yep.
Then as a squad. Go ahead.
Tripp will stay between Temerity and Eli, just so he can kind of show that he's not trying to run off somewhere.
Sure. Gotcha.
I'll stay with the boy.
Then a lot of you mobilize, with an exception to Torvin. Torvin, did you want to maybe carry Peverin to...
No, the boy's been through too much.
Okay. Then most of you mobilize. Kendra offers. Kendra offers in this space. I have no skin in this game. In this, I won't be going to Harrowstone, and this is only growing worse by the moment. Allow me. I will besiege minor magical protections over the boy. It is best if you are there. And while I do not know what Master Groven will say, it's probably more so useful that you're there than not.
Oz sense motive 23.
She seems genuine. Certainly not disingenuous.
Torvin nods.
Oz stops and says, I don't know if Kendrick can protect him, but I think she would do everything she needed to.
I trust her.
It's not much, but I do have something that will work temporarily. At least until you can have a conversation with the old man. And, Well, I don't know what to expect. Is that staying here? Looking at Silwith.
He turns and like gives a thumbs up. Like see like a tendril come up and then like it like balls up and then just like another like a little thumb just shoots up.
She immediately looks to Temerity and to Rye.
Tell her I said
what
yes.
that means. Because I don't want him here.
He says yes. I'll just kind of roll my eyes.
If you can, tell her to put at least 2 more logs on the fire. I can absorb.
Stop talking, my
I can
God.
I can absorb the heat of it and rest up like that overnight.
Making me nauseous.
Why does everyone keep getting upset?
You need to stop. Can you put a couple more logs on the fire?
Yes.
That would be ideal. And I appreciate you.
He soon him put his hands together. Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
I mean, you can do your thing. I thought you were going to talk again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was. He was like,
okay.
No? Okay.
They don't want to hear it. And I think it will make your position even worse if that's possible.
It's true. I would prefer that you quit making the squelchy noises. It's just stop.
It's very unpleasant to the ear.
Wow. You see him just like he just like looks at you. He's like, wow.
Perhaps
do you
in
say wow?
return, you can say less.
I'm gonna take some of the ash that I stored for my prayer and toss it at him.
Okay.
I want to see if it goes through his
incorporeal form. Yeah, and it does. It does. It'll dash right through his body.
I don't like that.
Well, Torvin will pick up his pack then, and
Oz kind of says under his breath, "It's kind of cool, though."
We're all just doing our best, lass. I trust you to do the same. Trust you more to do the same than many. All right, Torvin then.
I nod.
And the team is back together, with everyone pulling everything that they have. The only one that remains is Peverin. Peverin's never been much of a concern, at least immediately, up until his body is occupied. But she reinforces some of the things upon him, makes sure that he is not only tied up, but tied down to the sofa. She puts logs on this. If something happens, if this place catches on fire, he's doomed. He's absolutely doomed with the amount of ways that he has been tied down and injured. He's not escaping this, but fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
That was my bad then. I misinterpreted. I thought the group was resting before that. If we're not doing that, then if there wasn't a way to omit that, then fine. Because I misinterpreted how that was being played out.
No, I figured that you guys were going to go together.
Okay, then yeah. Well, I will do that. I'm going to hide in Rye's shadow. So like as we like start heading out, you're going to see Silwith like just like flatten out, and it looks like Rye's shadow, but with like 2 red eyes like following behind.
Sure.
Well, that's not ominous.
You move as a squad with efficiency. Go ahead.
I would like to talk to Oz, like as we walk over, kind of like walk with Oz.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, sure.
That hurt. Well, yeah. So as we're walking, I'll kind of walk next to you and kind of talk in a quieter way. Hey. Do you think I'm dead?
Oz will poke you. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I feel it.
No?
I've been thinking about this a little bit.
You seem alive. Everyone else can see you, unless we're all seeing dead people.
See, that's the thing is I don't think I'm dead. I think I was supposed to die.
What do you mean?
You remember when Eli, and I'm getting a little quieter. You remember when Eli said that I had souls attached to me. Whatever madness he was talking about,
Yeah, he kept going on about children's souls. Did you eat children's souls?
No, Oz, I didn't eat any children's souls. However, I think I know who they are.
Who are they? And why would they be attached to you?
I don't know.
Although I have heard of this one type of creature that like eats people and then or their brains or something, and then they like stay connected to them and they trail behind them. It's the creepiest thing I've ever read before, but I read it once in a book. Never seen it.
I don't know about all that. But what I do know is I think they're the souls of the children in the orphanage I grew up in. I think they're the souls of my brothers and sisters in that orphanage.
What happened to them?
It's hard to say. They were changed. They were used by the Umbries. I thought they died. They didn't die. They were back, but they weren't them.
You mean like someone turned them?
I don't know what the fuck they did to them, but it wasn't natural. And I should have died in that fire, which makes my voice sound like this.
Were they in that fire too?
I like to think that they got out. I was trying to escape out the bottom. The secret door there in the orphanage. We used to use it to go thieving. I got stuck down there. I don't know how I made it out. I know when I woke up who had saved me. But all the details are fuzzy. That I can't tell you.
Why?
Because I'm protecting them.
Oh. Well, that makes sense, I suppose, but that might be a missing piece to the puzzle.
People in the doll who help others are not always kindly looked upon. There are factions, secret groups even, that dwell within the doll, within its walls in secret, that help folk, take care of them, don't believe in the worshipping of the Umbries. That's all I can say. That's all I will say. But what I think is, I think I was meant to die, and I think somehow they saved me. I think they're attached to me. I think they're keeping me safe. How many times have I almost died and then come back from the brink just in this last couple of weeks?
Maybe you're like a cat and you have multiple lives. But that doesn't really explain what. Well, why didn't they turn you like the other kids?
I don't think they could find me. And by the time I emerged, I think they'd moved on. Maybe. I don't know. It was tough there. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I can see this wraith. I don't know if I'm alive or dead, but I think I'm alive. I think I was meant to die. I think they're protecting me. I don't know. Does this sound crazy?
Sometimes our best instincts are the ones we have to go off of. I don't know what to say. I don't know nothing about. Sorry. I don't know what to say. I don't know what goes on with souls attached to people.
You can see the house not far from this
I'm
point.
talking about.
you'll arrive at Gorovin's The Unfurling Scroll in the next 20 to 30 seconds.
Watching you, Silhouette.
Have I ever heard of anything like that before? Like, would I know like anything Arcana related that, or?
Well, I mean, you know the basics of lichdom, based on what everybody knows at this point, is that it's essentially like it's a series of fetters, right? It's like cruxes, horcruxes of a sort. They tie it to a device or multiple devices so that they can continue living on. By like the laws of necromancy, there's a good chance that Rye himself is a lich based on how the basic rules of it is.
Yeah, so I guess Oz will be like, well, do you have anything from when you were a kid? From that time when you were in the fire? Is there something that you keep on you? Or that you've kept on you for a long time?
No, not that I can think of. In fact, that's part of the problem. I don't have any keepsakes. I don't even know what my daughter looks like anymore, or if she's even alive. It's the only reason I'm here, to get enough money to try to find her. I've been looking since I left. It's been over 20 years. I'm starting to think I'll never find her.
We'll find her, and we got that paperwork. We just gotta get out of whatever the hell this town is.
We're here. Please keep it to yourself, Mums.
All right. Mums it is then. Now it's kind of just like watches Ride, like kind of inspecting him to see if there's something that's like off or strange or...
You notice that as he continues to stride, there is this awkward, lingering shadow about him. And as it turns, you can see it's the eyes, the coal red eyes of Silwith. He never left the steeping shadow of Rye. So despite his best intentions of keeping it down and not telling anyone other than you, you know for certain that Silwith heard every word there.
Oz will look at Silwith's eyes and put his hands up like this.
Here, Rye hears Silwith whisper, "Mums it is then," and then just says nothing else.
Creepy.
Yeah, and Maggie, Oz hears just this shuddering, like garbled nastiness.
If anything, he's got a wicked sense of humor.
Does anyone
Yes,
knock
yeah.
upon the unfurling scroll, or do you simply wait? What does this look like?
I will disengage before we even like make physical, like get within like a reasonable distance of the tower, just because I already know that barrier's there, and I don't want to get hit by it.
Sure.
So you'll see Silwith disengage from Ride, kind of just stop.
Moment passes. You can see the shifting shadow, the nebulous darkness move away from Rye, and before any of you can gather up the hopes to knock on the door, which feels almost dooming in and of itself, not really knowing what Gorovin has done and what he's capable of, the door slowly opens and swings wide, and after a few moments you can see the very tall and slender figure of Elendru Gorovin step forward with his sloped and long face.
Hi there.
The hour is late.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. So, sorry for the late night call, but I got a problem. Well, more than one problem, but one problem that maybe you can solve.
It's good to see you. I hope you're as happy to see us. Probably not, though.
Absolutely thrilled. To the basement, the children are sleeping.
I nod and I come in.
Oz follows as well.
And you two, come on. Pointing to you, Spirit.
Oh, okay. You see him like he's like dipping his foot in like cold water. He's like, He sees like little like tail like kind of like flash over, and then he's like, okay, I guess we're good.
After a moment, he brings his door back to a close, and he will be the last to follow up. You hear multiple doors shutting, though you've not seen multiple doors as you pass through his angled 90-degree hallway down into the basement. You don't see the children in the main area, the main staging area, but he doesn't allow you the time to look. He is in his resting wear. It's as close to what a traditional wizard might look like as a blue robe.
17 cents motive. Just, is he actually thrilled to see us? Does he like, are the kids actually sleeping? Like, is there any truth to what he's saying to us?
Well, you can't see any kids, so they're either dead or asleep. And his sarcasm is just palpable. It's absolutely palpable. So there is zero thrill. Yes, this is wonderful. It's absolutely riveting.
Okay.
He's guided you to the basement. And after a moment, he makes his way to a lamp and turns a dial which brings the light up just enough, illuminating the area. He reaches around a small end table and he finds his glasses and he puts them on, wiping some sleep from his eyes. I was alerted to your arrival via spell. And each of you are equipped to the teeth.
I have no weapons, but I do what I can.
I am... Please, I know that you understand me, so please stop talking.
That's...
Yeah, it's not a very pleasant sound, is it?
It's not.
He just puts his hands up. He's all, I'm
tried
sorry,
to tell
everyone.
you.
Sorry. He just says it all loud. You just hear this echoing. He's like, sorry. Sorry.
What we're here for is, Peverin. We want to make sure he stays safe. We were wondering if maybe he could stay with you. Or maybe you could cast some kind of protection spell on him or something.
Why? He's been with you in your care and company for some time now.
Well, that was when Oz looks at Silwith, who's like this blob of something and is not sure what to call him, and then says, that was when, well, Silwith was assisting him. Because he's not sure what word to use.
Look, the spirit burned down.
Assisting him and protecting him a little bit, but we want to make sure that he stays safe, and we're going back in Harrowstone. We don't want to bring him with.
Are you staying true to what his father requested?
Keeping him safe?
Yes.
That's our intentions.
The spirit burned down the blacksmith, the rest of the town hall, and almost the church.
Spirit did that.
While inside the boy.
The truth is, we're in a complicated situation.
Yes, this sounds like a complicated situation.
We've been to Harrowstone. We made it back. We need to go back again. We would like to help the town.
And your ash wards, were they struck and smoted?
Not mine. I look to the rest of the party.
I don't know.
Glance around. And each of you take a moment to kind of like lean to look at the back of the necks or the back of the head where the ashen ward was put. And all of them are cracked, running from sweat. Even rise.
Okay.
So what will you have me do, or what will you put in request for?
Well, we just want to know if you'll, like, kind of like babysit him, maybe? Watch over him, keep him safe while we go in and try to deal with whatever's going on inside there. And Oz seems like unsure about if they can really deal with it, what's inside there, but like he's determined to help.
More than that, whatever help you can provide us generally. We're at a bit of a loss keeping up with what's his name? The wolf balls guy. Jeez,
Zogar.
to keep up with Zokar's request. It's becoming increasingly difficult. The boy is alive, but
I've gathered. I knew it would be difficult. He came to
Yes.
see me shortly after my guess as he spoke with you, and I heard his pleas. It's hard seeing a friend pass on, and all he wanted to talk about was how important the lot of you were in caring for his child. A child, that I must say, is a bit of a surprise to find is not his own. Yet he continues. You were tasked with babysitting him. Why is it now my job?
Because we're going to go somewhere dangerous and we don't want to take him with.
Everywhere you travel is dangerous.
Would be the opposite of being safe.
But I'm sure you understand the difference between walking in the streets of town and being deep in the heart of Harrowstone.
You must also understand that the boy is something completely beyond the traditional scope of basic magnitudes. You understand his position, yes, where he is capable of accepting anyone upon him, anyone that still walks this mortal coil.
Yeah, and that's why we're afraid to bring him inside.
I would have to rewrite every single ward on the unfurling scroll. He's like a crack. There would be an open window. And as much as I would love to help, that would endanger the other students.
Well, what would you propose then?
I would propose you nut up.
What does that mean? We're already nutting
Isn't
up.
there
We're going
a way-
inside.
You're
We call it
unfortunately
a
Get
squirrel.
another spirit inside of him, maybe Jorfa or
you're at a crossroads.
anyone.
Whom would you put inside the body of the boy?
We would
No
hope
one.
Right, fair. Then
There has to be something inside.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than
well, what have you then?
something random.
You said your name was Rye. You spoke with Hap. You died once, possibly twice. What have you then? Why not part with whatever it is that lurks inside of you?
I didn't rightly invite it in.
Suppose you didn't have much of a choice.
I wouldn't even know where to begin to ask him to leave, or where that would lead me.
Well, you have to will.
I don't even know my own situation.
You have to will it, and then you must understand it. Do you know what is inside of you, or what lurks?
Bunch of children.
And I look over at Oz.
That's what Eli said.
I know. It wasn't that I thought you revealed anything. It's that like I'm kind of freaked out that you might. You know, it's
Still
like
have-
that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know.
And
Yeah.
Oz immediately says, "That's what Eli said."
I've had nightmares every night since I saw that
Huh.
horrifying form.
That is interesting. Would you care for a brief study of something I have an interest in?
Anything to move away from this topic, honestly.
Oh no, it will
Because
only
we need to get going.
it will only invite answers into your life and unlife.
I have a question that I need answered.
Unless, of course, you're a coward and you seek to live blissfully unaware.
I'm no coward. Okay.
Perfect. I'm going to
And
give
I
you something.
understand. I understand very well too the manipulation just then.
Oh, it
You
was
can speak plainly with me.
it's
I
traditional
spoke plainly with you.
goading. It's simple. If you wish to deny it, it's fine. But it's something that I wish to test. It's in schools of necromancy, there are certain levels of understanding one must have in order to manipulate that level of divinity. And I'll answer your question to the best of my ability. He steps over to a table, handful of disastrously placed reagents, and he seems to mix a few things together, and he almost kind of binds it up in a twine. And he passes you this little, like what looks like a hitchhiker, right? It looks like a sticker bush pod. This isn't going to taste very good, but that is only of consequence to you. I
Oz
need you
says,
to ingest this.
I could make it taste better, but
If you make it taste better, you will change the reagent.
oh, all right. Well, never mind then.
I used to eat black root as a kid. Give me it.
He hands it to you.
I start chewing on it.
It feels terrible to your tongue. It's very fresh, and when you bite into it, it's kind of gristly, very like it emits like some grime into your mouth. Swallow.
I try to.
He hands you what looks like a small salve or like a cup of water of sorts.
Yeah, I quaff it down, just like a bad pill.
I'm going to cast a spell. Something small. It is a test. Think barrier to entry on those. Are you prepared?
Is this what we
Torvin
came here
stand
for?
behind the couch.
We came here
Razor
for something
over
he's
me.
not going to give us.
He commits to a spell. He marks his hand in such a way that draws this traced line in the air, and then he finishes in 2 to 3 syllables, says it very quickly. And you have this inhuman urge to clap as hard and as loud as you can. No matter what's in your hand, it doesn't matter. If there is something in your hand that's even breakable, you will smash it into your other hand. And you must clap as hard as you can. I need a strength check.
Sure, yeah. I'm in. As soon as my character sheet opens up. There we go.
Were you holding anything?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. No.
You clap loudly, just one time. Just a singular clap. And you see surprise. Surprise falls over his face. And then a smile. And his eyes, like it's one of those smiles where your eyes almost disappear. Very good, very good. This is good news. Good for me, less good for you. You're dead. I know, shock and surprise, right? Is a barrier to entry when you are studying the alchemical reagents and use of such in necromancy and divinity. You can test things on those that are recently dead or on their way to the grave. So which is it? Did you die? Or are you on your way to the grave?
I don't know.
And you see Silwith like lean over to Rye to try to whisper. Do you think it would help if you explain that you can see my actual form and hear me speak? Tell him that.
I throw something at the nasty sound.
What do you throw? Just whatever you can
Whatever's in
grab.
hand.
Whatever's in hand.
Anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna lay on hands and
Like, is it just one of those things where you're flashing the divinity and you're like, I'm gonna do it, or do you actually do it?
Roll initiative.
I can't do cool stuff without actually doing cool stuff.
I mean, you can't. It could just be one of those things like, can I give him like a single point, just like let him like stop it. You got to stop.
Just
Like,
I
one
just want to
finger.
like flick him, basically.
yeah,
one
of course you can. It's just like it's brief channel. It's the threat, right? It's the ever looming threat. And he does it. He brings it to you, Silwith, and there is it's a single point. It's this snap. It's like a bee sting to you in the back of your body. But you feel it, and when you speak, he's got the wild eyes, and the divinity is just like wholly rolling off of his fingertips, and the threat is there. It's ever present. You feel something
Like dry ice but fire.
pass through your body, and you can see Torvin is like clutching something and prepared to throw. The voice is just too much for them.
Oz is just observing how Torvin and Eli quickly turn on Silwith over this time frame.
I'm sorry.
Do you explain, Ello? Does Rye explain what you just heard from Silwith?
I do explain. You mentioned me being able to communicate with Hap. I've noticed other weird things when it comes to unlife, such as I understand Silith. I can hear him when he talks. It makes sense to me, whereas they only hear. I don't know what they hear. It isn't kind to their ears, though.
You
apparently.
speak their tongue, and they understand you.
Yes, and I see him as a man.
You
A shadow man,
realize,
but
Still with nods.
you realize the only way that you can speak that is upon death.
well, didn't you just tell me I'm dead?
This is
I don't get why when I said something you called me crazy, but we're just taking his word for it like it's law.
You don't have to. I'm not forcing this upon you. You're not spoon-fed. None of you are children. Well,
I
with
warned you
exception
what he
to
was.
Oz, you might be a child.
Oz kind of like looks around.
You're still wet behind the ears, and this is fine. What matters more so now is that you have died, and you are living. Why?
That's what I was wondering.
When, not why, when. When did you die?
Would it help you to know that I come from the doll?
Oh. Well, that does change things a bit.
I've had brushes with death.
I think he
but-
might have died in 4661 AR.
I think one of them was a bigger brush.
That's what Oz says.
He died in a fire. That was when the fire at Harrowstone occurred. It's not likely. Oh, his body's not even that old.
Well, if
There was
Fry's
another
dead,
fire.
he can just jump inside of Pepperin then.
He can't. There's something else. Who has... You found Petra's things. Where is the planchette?
Broken.
Oz takes it out.
The glass
It's
is broken.
it's
There's
broken,
a piece
right?
of it in my eye. Points to his eye patch.
Yeah, it's a little broken.
You realize this can be repaired.
He offers it.
Be my guest.
Well, I can't repair it. But it can be repaired.
Neither can Jorfa.
Is there a point to this sentiment?
We came here to get the boy protection or to find a way to deal with Silwith. Not to dig up more information about Rye's stitched together puppet children's souls.
Listen, I wish that I could write this all down in a book that each of you would read in your own time, but I'm afraid that it will likely be in a language that most of you will not accept. Likely with an exception to the tiefling or to the dwarf. You strike me both as someones who have seen many a thing. And based on what I can tell, I'm willing to wager that you're significantly older than myself.
Well, what's your point? You're asking us what our point was. What's your point?
My
Are you
point,
going to help us or not?
my point was to sleep in this basement and let this all pass. And from my understanding, based on what I can tell, something brews wickedly in the halls of Harrowstone.
And you think sleeping's going to just let it pass?
Well,
I mean, if that's the case, I'm here to take a big nap then.
I don't think he's concerned. I think he.
Where's this earth elemental you keep talking about? If I were to want to speak with it, where would I find it? How could I do that?
latently magical. Did you develop skills overnight?
I need magical skills.
You
just to
do.
commune with it.
Can
I
you-
can't physically see it.
Well, I suppose I could give you a shovel and hope for the best, but you might be digging for a while.
Oh, I know some magic.
then you might be perfect for this.
And how far away underground would I have to dig? It couldn't just be down in Harrowstone itself.
Here's the problem. I commune with stewards of this elemental. Stewards. It's like pebbles. Think of a mountain. If you can, close your eyes and picture a mountain. Now imagine a rock rolling down that mountain. It's an extension of itself. These are stewards. I speak to the pebbles. The pebble delivers the message. If you wish to go down and speak to something like that, you may not like what you hear. You may also not come back. This isn't a threat. It is simply a truth. You do not stare down and question every time you've stepped on an anthill. And this is very like what it would be to you.
Then
Maybe
what
you
makes
should
you
tell
think-
one of those pebbles that it needs to fix those ley
Hmm.
lines.
You're asking the right question now. Something happened, and it has been chained, shackled. Have you ever been stuck somewhere too long?
Yes, right now, here.
And what is it doing to you?
It's driving me a little mad.
Now imagine that you are a multi-million-year-old creature that has been shackled in one spot.
I don't want to imagine that.
But if you did for a moment,
It would not be pleasant.
it wouldn't be pleasant.
Well, why don't we free him?
Which is why I settled in this town,
To free him?
to figure out how to remove the presence. The presence holding death here.
All right.
Because I knew that if I could bring my wife's soul to this place, it would never leave me. Which is why I studied necromancy. But I know that she too wishes to pass on. And she too has been driven mad.
Where is your wife's soul?
It's in the halls of Harrowstone, as are every other soul.
How did it get there?
Something is siphoning, pulling all spirits unto the place.
Well, do you think it has anything to do with this elemental thing?
I think it has quite a bit to do with that. More so, I think it has
Alright.
something to do with the original dwarven builders.
Well, where is it at? I think that's where we need to go. Oz looks at all of them.
Where would you like to start? The tip or the tail?
The center of it?
You're standing on it.
Oz looks down.
It passes power in its communicators, these pebbles, if you will. Surely you've seen this, and he describes a small, like, jaded stone that Peverin carries, and all of the other children carry as well. It's been wrapped in a hemp cord, either into a bracelet or a necklace, or tied onto the, like, a lapel or their belt line. This is a reprieve from the magic that it springs forth voluminously. You would use much of the same, and you could go through the process. Typically, it takes weeks. I could usher the process. It would not
No.
feel very good.
And what would that do for me other than make me feel not good?
Do you feel great every time you cast a spell now? Are you very confident in your magic?
Oz looks down at his feet.
I thought as much. If you'd like more control, or perhaps you would just stave off casting your spells, making you practically useless. What is a caster without their magic? You're just a body.
Well, I haven't been casting magic that long, so I'm not really sure. I was a cook before.
Would you like to whisk up a soup for these spirits?
That reminds me.
Well,
Oz,
if that
we need
would
to
calm
talk
them down
tomorrow.
and make them nicer, maybe. What'd you say, Eli?
So that reminds me, Oz, we need to talk tomorrow.
Oz is not sure what that
He has
means.
a very stern look at that. That it's not like a hey, buddy, we should hash out a conversation. It's definitely a somewhat angry look.
So, what do I do? What would you have me do?
Well, you're still here. I would say if I were you, and you had the balls for it, I say this candidly so, head back to Nadal and find who has your soul.
That absolutely shakes Rye. That absolutely fucking shakes Rye. Like maybe even visibly. Maybe for the first time if the group was watching, he like almost visibly recoils at the idea. Like
Nadal is your parent. It's your home, your mother and your father, and the trauma that has been instilled in you is and will always be instilled by your parents.
But that's where you're wrong. I'm an orphan, and I always have been.
I don't think he's ever going to go back to Nadal the way he talks about it.
Then let me posture this question for you. The amount of spirits as have been described by the young one, and you there, Eli, the ones that inhabit your body, Rye. Do you think that they wish to hang on for another 30 or 40 years? Do you think that they enjoy anchoring themselves to someone so hell-bent on self-destruction?
They looked like they were in pain.
There's a good chance that passing on feels quite good, and that is a crime of my own. I wish that I could have allowed my wife an opportunity to pass, but I anchored her here, and I'm trying to fix it.
I thought Harrowstone was what was anchoring the souls here.
I brought her here. She didn't die here. Regardless of your decision, your soul is likely still out there. And even if you do not wish to go back to Nadal, you don't have to, but it is probably there.
Why do you think it's there?
Where else would it be? Where did you die?
You mentioned a fire. I survived a fire. Thought I did. Back in Nadal. The orphanage. It burnt. I tried to escape out of Thieves' Hatch. Underground. Got caught from some debris. That's why my voice sounds like this. Smoke inhalation. Couldn't breathe. I passed out. And I woke up elsewhere.
You know how many men and women have died from smoke inhalation? We've only just begun to understand what it means to peer at bodies. Grave diggers and the like have begun opting out of simply digging holes. Anatomy has come quite far. We've seen the damage that fire can do to a lung without touching it. I'm not going to say that's where you died, but I'm not saying that either.
Would it be someone such as you who would have my soul?
I do not understand Nidalee's politics very well. I do know that the Umbres remain in rather sordid control, and their power passes It's a bizarre game. But the likelihood of your soul still being there is quite high. And that person who would have that would have to have a vast understanding. Or the tools to equip them with the understanding. So either your spirit is bound, or it's being used as a plaything. Either way, it exists. Hence why you exist.
Rye was a little caught up in the conversation. He's suddenly aware of everybody around listening to this. So the boy. I guess we'll take him with us. I look at everybody.
There's some way we can get Silwith to make a pact with us or some sort of promise that he can't break. Or some sort of oath.
He also mentioned something, a puzzle lock.
Oh, and he kind of, like, before he speaks, he kind of like looks at everyone. It's a memento of mine, Rye. It had nothing to do with any seal or anything. It's just something that helps me think. That was all.
Just go back into the boy if you're going to talk.
He's explaining it was a memento.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Maybe there's some way to tether him, keep him honest.
I've generally found... Go ahead.
Like a soul grenade where I could set it off if he gets out of line. Explode him.
Aren't you a paladin of some sort?
Oh, yes, I guess I could do that anyway.
Suppose that comes with the territory. And you there, Temerity. Last I heard, Inquisitors were excellent at dispatching the undead.
I've tried to threaten him. It doesn't help.
Have you ever heard the terminology, the saying, you can catch more flies with honey than with
I
vinegar?
also tried to stroke his ego. It doesn't help.
But perhaps you should stop trying to berate or stroke him and treat him as an equal.
I'll stroke whoever I want, Barovin.
That is a conversation for another time.
One last question,
Fine.
If you will. Is there anything I can do to tap into whatever's happening inside of me? Some sort of power or latent?
I have very basic understanding of necromancy. As I
I
said
don't
once
like
before.
that word, temerity. We don't like necromancy, do we?
No, not particularly. No.
I find that the funniest since you two are the closest.
I would never.
Adjacent doesn't mean agreement.
I would never
completely
pervert
factual.
the flow of life.
Except for goblins. Rice says under his breath.
I'm not going to mess with their souls after I slay them.
No, their
Not gonna
souls have a
bring them
place to
back
go.
or enslave their corpses. I'm surprised that you, of all people coming from Nadal, don't have a problem with necromancy being used. It's probably what started this whole mess.
There was good and bad uses multiple times. For instance, like gentle repose was a starting factor of necromancy. It's literally, its ability is to stop tissue from decaying.
Look, I know it has its purposes, but don't you remember the stories of the Whispering Tyrant?
Yes.
Necromancy.
And I remember all the tales of those brave paladins that smote forth upon the souls and derelicts at those that deserved and needed it. Just like all of those towns that had brought together enough coin to pay me to bring forth the end of full militaries and their children alike. Whatever helps you sleep at night, I suppose, is all that matters. We're each guilty of different things. And don't think for a moment that I, a fledgling in necromancy, can't see all of the people and things that you've brought forth an end to this place. For what it's worth, you should probably note, you have rats following you. They're dead, but they still follow you.
I don't know what that means.
I just figured you would know.
Is there a
Rat
baby?
ghosts.
Is there a baby rat among them?
There's
Rat
one particularly small.
Ghosts.
Yes.
I
Well,
give
aim to
Eli
add
a
more
look.
than.
And my condolences, I am sorry for your pet chicken. He is near. For some reason or another, he has not been called by Harrowstone.
Oh shit! The rats have souls that don't leave. 2. They are following me around, those little fucks.
Also, for the
I
record,
don't want friends.
Jorfa seems rather upset.
Yeah, could
About
she maybe take over Pevrin?
I would not recommend that. She seemed a rather vindictive sort.
What gives you the impression she's upset?
It was the grimace as I saw her behind your party. You thought it was only the 5 or 6 of you. No. There were many.
She's from the Dull as well.
No, Jorminda is.
Or
Jorminda.
Jorminda, excuse me.
Jorminda.
Not Jorfa, sorry. I didn't know the woman.
No, it's not you that she was casting a rancid glare at. It was more so in the direction of that thing and that boy, and points to Oz.
Oz looks down again.
The offer still stands. I can give you the accelerated course. It's not going to feel great. But it will give you more control over the influence of magic.
Oz has an addiction to magic. He offers his arm and is like,
All right, well then, sign me up.
And is everyone else okay with this? You've all fallen victim multiple
You
times.
know about the sheriff?
The sheriff? What of the sheriff? Benjamin Kaler.
Yes.
What's happened to the sheriff?
Apparently, many things.
It seems that he's some sort of creation. Reborn again, regrown, re-something. He goes back to Harrowstone, he dies again, and comes back again. Some sort of
Found.
ritual with blood.
Really?
We found 9 of his corpses.
9 corpses. That is very interesting. Second most interesting thing I've heard tonight, just behind you being a dead man. Would you bring me one?
What?
They're down in the.
If you're already going
You
there.
could come along and grab one for yourself if you like. I'll
Oh,
give you a heavy hand up in even.
I believe that you would.
What do you need it for?
It's study. If he's died that many times, he's clearly not a human. He does not appear to be elven. Is he under some form of cursed magic? What more seems to be at
That's
play?
a loop.
How much is that study worth to you?
Willing to entertain offers. What would you ask?
No, I can't. Sounds like more necromancy.
It would
Yeah.
definitely be necromancy, but at the cost and study of what level of magic keeps him here. As far as I can tell, Benjamin Kaler is a positive force in this town. He's tired. He's been as tired as I have since I've been here.
Well, if you want a body, he's in tune. That's the freshest one, even.
I don't think we've seen him come back yet. Since we watched him vanish from the wall.
He'll be on his way.
1,000 gold. I'll give you 1,000 gold if you bring me his body. The most fresh.
I could bring back Pecker.
We'd split the gold.
I will
Oz
have
could-
no such offer.
Oz could have mine. It's an animal. It's not a person. No offense, Oz.
Don't take this the wrong way, but could we maybe stop the bad things down there first?
Of course.
And then we can talk politics and marketing.
Certainly.
So, when it comes to the body, however, considering it keeps dying in Harrowstone, any information we can get will be helpful.
There's a very good chance that there's some sort of tether or tie to the elemental below the land. Something has been weird at Harrowstone for a long time, and again, I believe that it is tied to the dwarves.
Why do you think that?
Go on.
Because every time I neared the place, many of the runes that are moved and etched into the stone are not made by human hands. I imagine you had admired the craftsmanship in the work. That's dwarven craftsmanship. And someone had paid them to put those markings in the stone. I think it is what, personally, I believe, has shackled the elemental here.
So you think the elemental's underneath Harrowstone?
I think the elemental is significantly larger than the prison itself. But if you were
Where's
to,
the core
say,
of it?
destroy Harrowstone, there is a good chance that you will free the elemental as well. Thus, as I'm theorizing, freeing all of the spirits so that they may wander into their own life.
Like, knock down the entire prison?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Well, that would take forever.
Not if we do it right.
If the dwarves had something to do with Harrowstone, and the place where we found those cursed weapons wasn't that looked like dwarven make as well? The cache
safe.
Have we identified those items specifically?
Hey, Wyld, can you give me a knowledge history? I'm going to give you a circumstantial bonus. Just because of your age, it's a big bonus. I'm going to give you a +6. Okay. Are you happy with that?
With a +6, I am, yeah.
Okay. Put you to 19. With that, I can't lie. You would have gained more information at a higher number, but you're still going to get some. The information that you have. Dwarves aren't shy from practicing magic. They do like more practical effects, things that are tangible to touch. Magic is wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, right? Sometimes it's just about weaving control and effort over the nebulous. But there has been a group, in early dwarves, particularly deep dwarves, when there was a separation of top dwellers, middle dwellers, and dark dwellers. Some of the deep dwarves found a way to basically utilize magic to anchor magical beasts as batteries. Like permanent batteries. Never quite draining them, but forever trickle charging them. And that was like one of the major tenets that Dad, your father, was totally against. Absolutely against. So he didn't curse them, but when they needed his help the most, he let them fall. It's frowned upon. But As the Dwarven Allfather says, sometimes you just have to let people lay. They made the bed, let them sleep in it. Now, you've never seen it, right? You've never seen it in any case, right? It's never... how often have you come across the Deep Dwellers? It's very, very few and far between. I mean, you met Jorfa. Jorfa was a Deep Dweller. That being said, you have never seen any of that level of magic and stone, like rune control, on the surface in ever. But you do recall seeing the blood when he went back, and Benjamin was reliving that, and he cut his hand and bled on the lawn. You do know that there's something else going on there.
They were runes, etched a deep and of quality. I wouldn't say dwarvish, but quality. And they was all around. I never saw the text though.
Very well. We can write this off. If Harrowstone is destroyed. And if the elemental is still anchored, then we can put to bed one boogeyman. The best that I can do for you now, you'd asked for some sort of bind, an agreement. I can tether that spirit to the body of Pevrin for a short time. Though if what any of you say is true, spirits will be wrestling against him for a while. And if they wrest him free, well, that will be for you to deal with. I know I simply must wait. Because whatever is happening, what torrent of souls brew in Harrowstone, when it is free, it will walk, and it will pass by here. Because without invite, they cannot enter. Now.
Well, why can't you just cast that kind of ward on Pevrin so no one can enter him?
I'm afraid that's not how that works. He is not my domicile. I do not live in him. He doesn't provide me shelter. And he's not an inanimate object. If I die, those children's lives are at risk. If Pevrin dies, it sounds like the world is probably going to be a safer place. Wouldn't you say?
I don't know about that. I don't think one person's life makes everyone else's life safer.
It doesn't matter. Even if that's the case, it's not going to happen.
I agree.
So...
There's nothing clever or easy about it. It's just simply looking at this from on paper. His survival might mean a lot more people die. That's all. Now, if you wish to be closer to the elemental, I can make it so. Your call.
Oz offers his hand. He already did.
He looks to the rest of you. This will take most of the night. And what you might see will not be pretty.
I'm nae frightened of stone.
Rye nods. He's in.
Place your hand on the table.
Oz puts his hand on the table.
Is this your dominant hand?
Oz puts his other hand on the table.
Which one is your dominant hand?
I'm ambidextrous.
His left hand.
Put your right hand on the table.
Put my right hand on the table.
Tries to make a tendril and put it out.
This is just specifically for Oz in this case. Unless all of you would like to commit as well, and which case it will simply make this an easier process. It will go faster, but it will come at a cost. Unfortunate as it is, unless, of course, you don't mind losing a digit.
Rye takes his hand off the table.
I thought that might be the case.
Wait, I'm not gonna lose a finger, am I?
Yes. This can go one of two ways. You can either commit to the Fool cause and cut this even further, or you can allow me to do it, which will increase the time, roughly by twice as much. So if you wish for expedition, I hope you're ready to chew through your own pinky. Or you can allow me to remove it myself.
Well, I don't want to bite my pinky off.
I didn't think as much.
Kinda would like to keep all my fingers.
What do you do with your pinky? You know what? Don't answer that. I actually don't wish to know.
Is it gonna stop Oz from accidentally killing people?
I think it increases the chance of Oz's control of magic. Not just here, but wherever an elemental or a ley line lay. Bear in mind, once you have done this, you will never have to do this again. You're blooding yourself in preparation.
Oz kind of leans in, like, talks a little quieter, but directly at Gorovin and says,
How mad was Jorfa?
She's dead.
Do you really wish for me to explain all of the ways she said she was going to kill you?
Well then, she can have a finger, I guess.
Well,
Oz will put out his hand, and he'll turn his face the other direction.
where you've turned your head to face, you see him outstretch his hand to grab, like it's moving up to grab your face, and you notice as his hand stretches to you, he only has a thumb and 3 fingers. No, child, you must watch. And as he pulls your head to face, he raises a hammer. This isn't going to be easy. As he raises that hammer, the session ends.
That's a good hammer.
Gross.
The session ends right there. I'm sorry about your pinky.
Oh,
Ish.
it was a good pinky.
It was a good, missed that sweet ass pinky of mine.
How's Oz gonna drink tea?
Yeah, I was like, can't be fancy anymore.
I mean, you could just use your ring finger, right? Just...
Not as fancy.
You need to get like a attachment for on the end of the cup, you know.
Oh yeah, that just hangs off the cup.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to do it. It just like dangles there. See how dainty this looks? I can't even do that. This looks dumb. Right? That looks cute. This is different.
We fashioned a cup holder for your pinky then.
Well, he's
So,
not taking
like,
all my pinkies, just one
No.
pinky. Right?
Honestly, he's not even taking your full pinky. He's literally just taking it at the knuckle.
Why? You
That's
can't
just
have
as
the
bad.
nail? Right, come
That's
on.
even
Well-
that's even worse.
So
He's
Take the
using
whole
a
thing.
hammer, so
All right.
there's a
so
bit
what he's
of margin
doing,
of error.
right? What he's doing here, he's blooding you for
Christ.
necromancy. You're
Wait.
basically you're blooding to the elemental, and he's going to bequeath to you a stone.
Oh, shit.
just-
Would we
I'm,
know
like,
this?
giving him blood.
You have to basically make a sacrifice. It's a small
Yeah.
blood sacrifice, and it's an offering. And he doesn't want your
It's the
blood.
pay.
He wants your bone.
Oh. My little pinky
Yeah,
bone.
you're giving
There's your boat.
yeah. He wants the bone, and he's gonna pass to you.
Me and the elemental are boning.
Oh
Like
goodness
this.
gracious!
Nice.
All right, guys.
I did want to say that.
Go ahead.
Didn't Torvin and Temerity see blood runes when we were like over by
yeah.
the water with that big rat thing outside? Yeah, I was like, you guys definitely saw runes,
Hmm.
the blood runes. They were like old, I think, like not. Seemed like they were depleted.
I think
or something.
Temerity spotted it actually. I think it was Temerity and
Yeah.
Rye, and then Torvin was like, "Oh no, yeah, this shit goes all the way around. I can see it." But that's different. That was like
Oh.
painted on the stone. That's
Oh,
was like
okay.
pseudo fresh even. But no, what he's talking about is like stuff that has been like carved into the stone and hidden in such a way. Very creative stuff. But
And we haven't seen any of that.
no, you guys haven't had a chance to really inspect it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give everybody here their shout outs so we can actually see them off. It was a great session, I think. I enjoyed that start to finish. It was just great to get to hang out with you guys again. I really do enjoy it.
Yeah, it was fun.
So
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you you so much. I am in fact feeling a lot better. Cobalt, Eli, tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you, buddy?
Oh, what's up? I've been playing lots of TFT, 20 Minutes Until Dawn, Isaac, PoE, just whatever I feel like. You can catch me on my channel most days. Come hang out. And I play Pathfinder on Tuesday nights when I'm lucky, and we play D&D on Thursdays, much earlier, like around lunchtime Central, which is the time zone I'm in. So you're all invited. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Oz is played by MargaretKrohn. Tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Hey, I'm MargaretKrohn. You can find me at MargaretKrohn in all of the places. I also play D&D with Cobalt on Thursday, so come hang out with us. It's good fun. We play very different characters than these characters.
Yeah.
But it's good times. And of course, I make games for a living. If you'd like to check them out, I'm currently working on a project called Ashes of Creation, and you can find it at Ashes of Creation in all of the places. And I also am working on the second advanced version of Witches and Spellcraft. Wow, I couldn't say that. But you can find the original over on Drive-Thru RPG if you're interested.
Fantastic. Thank you. Torvin is played by Wyld. Tell us about you, boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Hey, I'm streaming a large amount of modded Minecraft over on my channel, and feel free to come over pretty much any time. Same wild time, same wild channel, pretty much every day.
Hey, that's perfect. That's what we like. Consistency, it's key. Temerity is played by Misty, aka Imperial. Tell us about you, lady. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Twitch.tv/Imperial, Imperial GRRL, everywhere else. You're just come to my page and click on links. I've been playing a lot of The Sims lately. We just finished a full front page week for Pride, which was awesome.
Nice.
And I have, Sewing and Sims. And if you're in the Denver area, I'll be at Denver Fan Expo in, I don't know, under 20 days, whatever I said earlier, at booth 123, to the point where I thought they were trolling me. That was my booth number when I got it today. So come by if you're in the area. And I have a TTRPG later in August, another one coming up, and I don't remember the date, so I'll just plug that next time.
Fantastic. Let's hit Rye, as played by Ellohime. Tell us about you, boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Oh, hello. I'm a variety streamer, mostly streaming in the early morning Eastern time. So you'll probably find me like 4 a.m., something like that. I've been playing The Quarry lately, which is a horror story game. It's been very interesting. I'm going to be finishing that up next stream. But yeah, you're more than welcome to join us. If you're Insomniac, you can see all of my social media stuff on the link in the chat. Or if you guys just want to check out the stream, that's perfectly fine too.
Perfect. Tripp, as played by XanderDarks. Ami, are you back to streaming? What's going on?
I would have fucking been, but it's like some good, yet some inconvenient things came up. So I'm like hella tired, but if it works out, then it's a good thing. But I'm here on Tuesdays.
Good.
When I stream, it's pretty early in the morning as well, around 7. But I have my schedule for 2 because I don't know how to update my Twitch page properly. The last game I was playing was Nobody Saves the World, and that was pretty good. So I'm gonna keep playing that, and hopefully I can get it back on stream for people to watch because it was a pretty good game.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And that leaves me. I'm Bub. Bub Talks. You can find me here doing all the things. I'm here 4 to 5 times out of the week. I just started a new tabletop game today, which is why I was late to stream today. I am playing in Hunter the Reckoning. They've just released a new book. It will be in print very, very soon. You can get the PDF online, and that is a second podcasted game to go alongside A Stitch of Fate. Tomorrow, I will be playing in the Alien universe, like Alien with like Ellen Ripley and chestbursters and all that jazz. I am performing the role of Kitchens, a synthetic. So I'm a synth, and I am one of the original 80 David units that was able to break free of the emotion coupler, and I'm figuring out life and trying to determine whether or not I fulfill the role of the previous David model, or if I say fuck that and figure out life for myself. So if you're down for that kind of thing, follow us here. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I love your faces, man. I'll talk to all y'all later. Thanks for playing. Thank you for all the players. Thank you guys for coming out. You killed it, man. You guys did. Tonight's roleplay was, wow, it was phenomenal. There were multiple times that I was like, yo, that was hot. Like, that was so good. I'm so happy with all of it. You guys killed it. And I'll talk to everybody later. Bye, guys.
Take it easy, everyone. Don't lick ferns on the side.
Okay.